And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internet. It's all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, we got that crazy judge out of the way, the crazy Atlanta judge. She has been removed from her bench by the Georgia Supreme Court. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the crazy story coming out of my original hometown, West Virginia. You have a couple engaging in slavery, according to what the indictment says. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Oakland, California Mayor Sheng Thao was raided by the FBI, the IRS, and the United States Postal Service, USPS. What in the world's going on there? She's spoken out about that. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Julian Assange, the infamous WikiLeaks founder, is free from a British prison after spending 14 years in kind of a purgatory. You're in asylum. What was he, in Ecuador somewhere? Then he had to get out of there. Then he went to prison in UK, and now he is approaching an island, a US territory. Then he's gonna go back home to Australia. Finally, we'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Chicago has spent $400 million, within them 400 million US American cold hard cash dollars on the migrant crisis in just 2 years. And the question is, where'd the money go? Ready for a spoiler? 2 companies mostly. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank you for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere in the internet. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We have a whole lot to discuss. There's quite a few new videos I've not covered yet. There is a whole lot happening here. We have the debate coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow, the debate's coming up. That's going to be crazy. It's going to be in Atlanta, of course, one of the best cities in the country. Atlanta is good once you get past the hood rat element, like Christina J. Peterson. Once you get past that, it's great. It's just like going to Chicago. Chicago actually is a beautiful city in certain parts, but once you're in other parts, it's really bad. New York, I don't like, but I presume a lot of you guys like it because you're not going to see these cat-sized rats all over the place. Sometimes you might be in a roach-free environment, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay, same thing, LA. When I went to Los Angeles, I didn't like it. It was really ghetto, really big, dirty, looking like 1970s Times Square prior to Giuliani, New York. But some places in LA, it's beautiful. You go up in the hills, you go down a little bit, go down to the beach. It's nice. So, I don't know. Atlanta might be the same way. Some parts of the city, you're going to see some things you really wish you couldn't see. You wish you could unsee. Sometimes you might go to Atlanta and see a 6'5" basketball playing drag queen. You might see a dude outside on the basketball court with a pair of heels on, doing a 360 windmill dunk, looking like LeBron James. Okay, like that kind of stuff goes on, but you also can avoid all that. But anyway, the reason why I brought up Atlanta is because the debate is going to be in Atlanta tomorrow at CNN. And I thought CNN, well, I guess they're still headquartered down there, but there was a CNN center and they went ahead and closed that. So I don't know where it's going to be. Maybe the CNN center is not the only place where they have CNN headquarters. I have no idea. Speaking about CNN center, before we get to the super chats and pardon me, the sponsors, when I went to a Trump rally in Atlanta, probably about 2 or 3 years ago, it was in an inside place. And the inside place was right across the street from the CNN Center. Now, I told this story recently, but I'll tell it again before I get to the actual sponsors and whatnot. So we are on the bus going there, and we pull up right in front of this building, right across from the CNN Center. When we get there, it's just regular people, regular traffic. It's not too much going on. Everything is all good. We go inside of the building. We meet, greet, have the Trump rally, hear the speakers. We're in there for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. maybe a little bit longer than that. I can't really tell. Maybe about an hour, hour and a half. We're not in there that long. We come out, everything's fine. We go back to the bus and go home. But when we were on the bus, leaving, going home, you know, I'm getting on my phone to see what's cracking, to see what I've missed in the past hour or two. And there had been a large-scale protest right outside of the building. They're protesting us. But a lot of these people, they just show up for a short period of time and they go about their business. We didn't see them before we got into the building or after we left. They were there for a very short period of time to make social media posts, to get put on TMZ, to get put on the television, CNN, they'll cover them, and then that'll be that. A fake protest, basically. So yeah, shout out to you guys for being here. Most certainly appreciate you. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Shout out to the sponsors, of course. Shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will be in the description, or just visit patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, go to ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website. New stuff coming, I promise, on ablmerch.com. Of course, all these links will be in the description. Go to my regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. I have articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, I have links, sources from the left, from the right, from the politically agnostic, from conservative, Democrat, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the very front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact. You can find my email address, my email address, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X. All those things are right there on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. And as I always say, if you're ever wondering if you are conversing with me on these interwebs or not, the best way to go about it is to cross-reference the method of communication. My email is real easy, contact@anthonyblogan.com. The email's been the same for forever. It's on the website. You don't got to remember. Just go to the website and look. It's right there. Easy breezy. I don't have a 1,985 digit WhatsApp number for you to contact. Talking about I'm going to send you some iTunes gift cards at 9:30 p.m. All this. Listen, we don't got time for that. I don't want to get any emails from you guys, and I have gotten some. I don't want to get any emails from you guys talking about, oh, I trusted you. You scammed me. I replied to your video. You replied back to me talking about, my brother, please click that link right here and you'll get a big bag of monies. Idiots. Don't be idiots. Invest today. That's not me. I don't talk like that. So please don't get scammed. I don't have an Eastern European accent. I don't sound like Vladimir Klitschko. I don't sound like Voldemort Zelensky. I don't sound like if he dies, he dies. Dolph Lundgren, who was a Swede, by the way, but that's a different story. I don't sound like I'm living in West Africa. I don't sound like I'm living in the Indian subcontinent. You hear my voice right now. So don't nobody get scammed in 2024. Ain't nobody got no time for that. So on that note, we got quite a bit to get to. Now, speaking about scams, this might be a great segue right here. Janet Yellen, our Secretary of the Treasury. Now, hopefully, Miss Yellen is clean and sober now, because the last time we saw her, I thought she was tripping on shrooms because something wasn't quite right. Talking about I had these great mushrooms in China. Did you really? And then you met Xi Jinping and you were bowing crazy. Hold on. Matter of fact, I got to find that video because that was crazy. I can't believe it. I can't believe that didn't get more coverage. Janet Yellen, high on drugs, allegedly, apparently. Maybe it's just me that saw something that it was not really there, but something wasn't quite right. Something was not quite right. Hold on. I'm gonna put this on the screen right quick just because. All right. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff that'll help me out tremendously. Now, remember this. Hold on. Let me see if she's going to talk about it right here.
Look, The American economy.
No, that ain't it. But so this is her meeting. Was it Xi? Nah, it was usual Xi Wang, but not Xi Jinping. Somebody basically affiliated with Xi. Somebody from the administration over in the Chinese Communist Party. Now, this is her, obviously, on the left-hand side. Like the aggressive, crazy bowing. Like, what is this? You would think that when you meet somebody, it doesn't really matter if it's the United States, Japan, China, somewhere, Asia. If there's any kind of bowing involved, you do a quick bow like that if you're going to bow. But really, do the handshake. That'll be enough. All this extra stuff right here, what is going on? And then you see this lady from the back having to come rescue her. Like, all right, that's enough. that is quite enough. Like, let's stop doing that. Okay, what's really going on? All right, so that was Janet Yellen. I forget when this was. Might have been a couple years ago or last year. Over in China after she had eaten some mushrooms in China. Now here she is talking about the economy with Yahoo News. Let's get a little bit of sound, and we got some video. Let's go ahead and roll it.
Yellen, have you been to the grocery store lately?
I sure have. I go every week.
It's sticker shock, isn't it? No. I just, when you look at...
So, I don't know if you heard that. The reporter asked Janet Yellen, have you been to the grocery store lately? She says, yeah. And the reporter's like, it's sticker shock every week. And she says, no. Janet Yellen says, no, I ain't no sticker shock. Really? Now, I got a sticker shock for you. I'm going to show a video that really kind of gets down to the core of it. Let's keep on going.
Shipping costs, those have come down. Global food commodity prices have also come down, but food prices still remain high. I know they're not rising at the rate that they were last year, but they're still up 20% from pre-COVID. Secretary Yellen, have you been to the grocery?
Yeah, so the prices in the stores are high. Things are high. I don't know what I was getting recently. I was completely shocked. Oh, I was getting some cranberry juice. I'm talking about like organic cranberry juice, not the cocktail, but the real like pure cranberry with no sugar added. That thing was like $10. I'm talking about like for a glass container like that big. It wasn't even really that big. And that was just the regular one. It wasn't even the organic. Sometimes, in my humble opinion, when they market organic products to you, it's way for them to mark up regular stuff. Sometimes they do that with food like chicken. They'll say, oh, this is organic and grass-fed, whatever. A lot of times it would be on the same CAFO with the other food, but that's a different story. Anyway, so that's Janet Yellen saying that, but let's take a look at this here.
This man reveals the true food inflation by comparing prices with the price tags on photos he took a year ago.
So I'm walking around Costco here and I'm noticing these prices. For example, these Madras lentils, $15.99. I bought those a year ago for $6.99. I keep getting told that we got, 6-7% inflation. You gotta be kidding me. Let's look at what else we got going on here. We literally bought this chicken broth, $5.69, 2 months ago.
So he has pictures of food that he has prices that he took last year, and he's comparing it to the same prices this year. So for that mayonnaise container, it was $4.99 last year. It's $9.99 now.
Dang, this is the flour we were buying for $5.99 last year.
So some butter that cost $9.49 is now $13.59.
The government has its own math that they manipulate in a dodgy way.
So when you're seeing stuff go up 100%, more than 100%, and then the government says, oh, 7% inflation, what does that number really apply to? What does that number really apply to? I feel like they're kind of cooking the books, skewing the numbers.
This man...
So there's more here. And you guys are asking about the debate. Of course, I will be here for the debate tomorrow. The debate is tomorrow, Thursday. I believe it's at 8 p.m. Let me make sure I'm saying the right thing. It's going to be Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So I will be here tomorrow. I'll probably start at about 8:30, 8:45, something like that, just to make sure that I be here. And what I'll probably end up doing tomorrow is going to, I think it's going to be on NPR. Well, the debate is going to be from CNN. It's going to be their thing, but they're allowing other networks to air it. So if I'm able to get the NPR stream or something like that without having to go directly to CNN, I should be good. So we're gonna test it out. I should be fine regardless. I don't even care about getting a claim or nothing. That ain't really important. The most important thing is to bring you guys a debate. All right, let's keep on going here. Now, this was a really, really good experiment. And I think all you guys can do the same experiment to really see just how badly the inflation bug has hit us. All right, let's check it out.
I feel like I'm gonna be sick. I just, looked through my Walmart history, and I found this, Walmart order from 2 years ago for the whole month worth of groceries. 45 items, cost $126. A whole month of groceries just for me, basically.
So he had an order, it might have been last year or so, from Walmart, and a whole month of groceries for him was $145. Now, maybe that wasn't all of what he purchased in the month, but it doesn't really matter. For those items, it cost him, what we said, 175 or 145. Let's just let him continue.
Basically. But I did notice this reorder all button, and I wanted to see how much it would cost now. Now, this order of 45 items for 1 month would have cost $414. That is 4 times more.
So let's go back and let's see how much it cost in the beginning and how much it's going to cost now. Let's go back. Let's hear it from the top.
I feel like I'm going to be sick. I just, looked through my Walmart history, and I found this, Walmart order from 2 years ago.
So 2 years ago.
For the whole month worth of groceries.
A month of groceries for how much?
45 items, cost $126.
So 2 years ago, a month of groceries, 45 items, $126.
A whole month of groceries just for me, basically. But I did notice this reorder all button, and I wanted to see how much it would cost now.
So if he wants to reorder those same items now, just 2 years later, how much would that cost?
Now, this order of 45 items for 1 month would have cost $414.
So when they say that inflation is 7%, things of this nature, oh, inflation is going down, it's not really a real thing. If 2 years ago, 45 items from Walmart groceries cost $126, now those very same items cost a grand total of $414. Obviously, we got a problem with inflation. Obviously. And exactly, Golf and Guns, try it. If you guys have the Walmart app or anything like that, and you're able to push the reorder button, try to push it. Look at how much it cost you in a month, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, or whatever, and then hit the reorder all button and see what it's going to cost you now. That might give you a better gauge of a realistic inflation for going to the grocery store, things of this nature. All right. It's crazy. Totally crazy. All right. This is what printing and spending money does. And sometimes you can't really see it. And then not only will the prices of things go up, they also shrink it. They do the shrinkflation. So they may stop selling you a particular item. Like, let's say this bottle of water right here. What's this? 16.9. So this bottle of water is 16.9 ounces, right? They could kind of finesse it to where the shape and size of the bottle would be similar to what it is now, but only give you 15 ounces. Okay. Or 14 ounces or something like that. You wouldn't even really notice it. But the companies notice it because they are going to charge you the same thing or slightly more while giving you less product to kind of conceal just how much things have risen in price. So you don't get sticker shock. Why are they going to miss a little bit? A couple ounces of water, they'd be all right. That's the idea here. All right. Now, how about maintaining the home? Listen, I think purchasing a home for myself back in 2020 was a great idea because rent now I think is going to be a lot more volatile because people are moving to places where they can afford to live, where crime is not out of control, where the migrants have not pretty much taken over the streets and done what they want to do. So in a place like Florida, for example, you're going to have rent and insurance and whatnot go through the roof because everybody wants to go there. I've been able to solidify myself where I am in a good place, good location, not too highly in demand, but not too out of demand, low crime, good mortgage rate. I'm good. I'm not really worried too much. But in some places, maintaining a home has really gone through the roof. So let's check this out.
It's no
And here we go.
secret that it's gotten more expensive.
Now, she has a article snippet here. It says, home buyers take on a lot more than a mortgage payment. Expert says hidden costs average $18,000 a year. I don't know about that. I'm not quite sure I would say that, but I guess it depends on where you are and what's going on.
To buy a home in the US, but it's not just the sale price that will cost you. Keeping and maintaining a home has gotten pricier too. The hidden cost of owning a home averages over $18,000 a year, according to Bankrate. That translates to roughly $1,500 a month. That includes property taxes, homeowners insurance, electricity, internet, and home maintenance.
Okay, you know what? Can I just say something right quick? This might be a little bit of propaganda. I didn't really watch this before I played it. This could be a little bit of propaganda because check it out. You gonna have, and okay, taxes. Listen, it depends on where you are with the taxes. See, I pay property taxes, but it's just part of my mortgage payment. It's not gonna be no big, okay, you got to pay $10,000 at the end of the year in a check. It ain't like that. Okay, and my taxes are not really that much, but I guess it depends on where you live. So they're talking about property taxes, and it also with homeowners insurance. That's also, look, in my mortgage, I pay property taxes, homeowners insurance, and PMI because I got less than 20%. To me, I didn't really see the point of putting 20% down on the house. To me, it didn't make any sense. So, and my PMI is low. All in all, I have a mortgage of less than $2,000 a month. My mortgage, a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house, brand new construction, less than $2,000, and I put like 3.5% down. So I'm not trying to go nowhere. I know people living in apartments that got, a little bit of roach activity for the same price that I'm paying for my mortgage. And their rent might go up $500 overnight. I knew a girl, her rent went up $400 just like that. I'm talking about in April or whenever this month was, it was X. And then it went up by $400 the very next month. And what are you going to do? Pay it or not? But I digress.
Homeowners insurance, electricity, internet, and home maintenance. And keep in mind, that's on top of your mortgage payment. The national median mortgage payment in April was about $2,256 a month, and that's according to the Mortgage Bankers Association. So what are some tips for first-time home buyers according to experts? First, don't spend all of your savings for the down payment. It will leave you with no money for repairs, which could lead to credit card debt or higher interest debt.
That's actually a good point. People putting 20% down or a lot more than that down. It's like you got to have cash. One thing, if you're going to buy a house, have some cash for sure. And I'm seeing some of you guys talking about what NERN says, 40% increase on property taxes. That's crazy. Yeah, because if your home value goes up, a lot of times you're going to have property tax go up as well. That's nuts. But again, this is kind of the gift and the curse. You living in a place where it's highly in demand. People are moving there. You're going to have it's kind of hard because what happens. That's right. Gregaton escrow, speaking about PMI taxes or whatever. But if you go to a place like Florida and it's highly in demand, everybody wants to go there. It's just going to increase, unfortunately.
And second, don't waive the inspection. In the past few years, many home buyers have waived home inspections to keep up with the competition. But many of those buyers are not in the same sort of vulnerable position as a first-time buyer, according to one analyst at Bankrate. Waiving the inspection is risky.
Yeah, do not waive your inspection. Do not waive your inspection. And if you can, get a private inspector, because sometimes you might be dealing with a developer and then they'll say, oh, we inspected it, and they put stickers and stuff in your house. You might want to get a second opinion on that, because I think if the developer has their own inspector, the developer has a conflict of interest, or the inspector does, or both, because the inspector does not want to find a bunch of flaws in the property because they're being brought on by the developer to inspect the home. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to be the case much, but that's what my mind would go to. Regardless, just make sure that you have somebody else come through and look at it. And also, if you're having a home built, the best way to look at the home is to see it before they put the drywall up, So you can see what's going on with the connections and the plumbing and things of this nature. When they were building my house, I was here all the time. I was here every week. No hard hat or nothing. I be in here taking pictures. I be in here asking questions. I be in here talking to the essays, whoever is out here, and a little bit of broken Spanish. Okay, I'm going to figure out what's going on with the house for sure. And, you know, knock on wood, I've not had any problems. But some of my neighbors, catastrophic problems. One neighbor had their whole backyard dug up because of some plumbing issues. It's crazy. But I digress.
And not something to do lightly. For more hidden homeownership costs, hit the link in bio. So
yeah, basically, you know, homeownership is definitely a thing that costs have some money. Now, like I said, I pay less than $2,000 a month for my mortgage here in East Tennessee. Okay. Yeah, and you're in no hard hat. I'm going into unfinished properties with a pair of flip-flops. Do I got something right here? No. I'm going in there with flip-flops, no hard hat, shorts, all of that. Now, if you're living in New York, and this right here, this is captioned, shout out to Clown World. This is captioned, it says, kitchen in Manhattan, $3,400 a month for a rental apartment. So what do you think is going to be the layout? How much space are you going to have? If you're paying in Manhattan now, New York City, if you're paying that amount of money, $3,400 a month, how much square footage will you have? Over under on the roach infestation. Let's check it out. All right. And you can see how thin it is. How you get somebody in here walking. Man, look, ain't no way. You got like a closet. They've retrofitted a closet to make a kitchen. That's crazy. Look at this. They retrofitted a closet to make a kitchen. But you know what? That is pretty impressive, actually, because they got a full-size refrigerator. They got a gas. Is that a gas range? They put a gas range in there, a microwave, cabinetry, a sink, granite-looking countertop. They put all of that in the closet. Okay, so that's definitely, you know, using every square inch for sure. But it couldn't be me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to cook. I'm not trying to cook no platanos or tostones in no closet. That's not going to be how we go about that. I ain't trying to, you know, I don't got to room for my air fryer. I ain't trying to cook chicken thighs and tacos and whatnot in this closet. I need a little bit more space. Just it's a tad bit more space. All right. But that's what you get in New York City for $3,400 a month. Yeah. 48 square feet max. Yeah, it's looking like what it is. That's definitely looking like what it is. All right. But shout out to you guys. I really appreciate you. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. How would you get the fridge out? Well, what probably happens is, let me see. With the fridge, what they probably do is just scooch it out to the right and then just put it up on a dolly and wheel it backward and move it where you got to take it. Yeah, and it's probably going to have to be a guy on the other side. So it'll be a guy near the range, near the stove. And then once you pull it out, another guy will be on the other side. And the guy that's near the stove can disconnect the fridge on his end and also help you tip it over. And then the guy on the other side just is receiving the dolly, receiving the refrigerator. He could just walk out. That's probably what would happen. All right, let's keep on going here. We got quite a few things to get through. All right, hold on. Do I want to play this one? Yeah, maybe. Maybe I do want to play that one. All right. This is going to be James Carville. This is Slick Willie's homie, Bill Clinton, one of his right-hand men. And the caption from Citizen Free Press says, Democrat Party has too many preachy women. I don't want anybody to try to say ABL is a misogynist or whatever. I'm just showing you videos. That's all. So let's hear this and you let me know if you agree, disagree, or whatever.
I think Democratic culture has too many preachy females. It's too much. Don't eat hamburgers. Don't watch football. All right. Wear condom. Like, man, shit, leave me alone. You okay?
Well, I mean, the last one might be a good idea. Just maybe. I mean, sometimes that's, actually good advice.
Hey, I got a goddamn life to lead. Guy works at a tire repair shop in suburban Atlanta. Motherfuckers working 50 hours a week, making $16.50 an hour, and he wants to watch the football game.
And sorry for the cussing. Blame the white man. It's not my fault. Again, this is James Carville. This is Bill Clinton's homie.
He wants to smoke dope and drink beer, and then everybody's telling him he's slothful, and they reject that shit. And I just think some of it is cosmopolitan condensation, if you will. Like, you need to lead the kind of life we lead, not the kind of life you lead. And it pisses people off.
Well, that's across the board. That's black, white. That's a big part of Trump. That's a big part of Trump.
It's Hispanic. We're going to lose Hispanic males.
Yeah.
We're going to fucking lose them.
And that's.
So what he's talking about is Democrats. He's talking about what Democrats are doing. There's too many preachy females. It's too many. You can't do this. You can't do that. Or you can't eat a burger. You can't watch football. This is homophobic, transphobic, all the other obs and this. You are losing the male population, and it's by your own doing. All right. All the LGBTQ, LMNP, X, Y, and Z stuff people don't like, and they're able to recognize that.
That's on that male-female issue. That's on. I mean, it very much they want to see the strong. This is a generalization, but strong, dominant male in a household. I mean,
So yeah, that's what's happening. Shout out to James Carville. Shout out to the Democratic Party. I hope they crash and burn. That'd be great for me. That'd be fantastic for me. I would love to see that. All right, that's right up my alley. Okay. Let me see. And hold on. Yeah, Rex Rocker, he is funny. I don't agree with the whole, no prophylactic, no contraception. I'm not really on that. You definitely need to wear that for sure. All the young guys out there, please, 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 please. If you care about yourself and everybody else around you, wear that. Unless you married, trying to have a baby, don't be out here rolling the dice, man. Because I'll tell you, the risks involved in that are crazy. That's like playing Russian roulette with a pistol right in your face. I don't advise it. Put the gun down, please. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. And, by the way, for the debate, which I will be doing for you guys who are just now coming into the stream, the debate is tomorrow, 9 p.m. So Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern is a debate between Trump and Biden. And Trump said previously that he's going to reveal his VP pick at the debate. And I've been watching Twitter and whatnot, social media, and they said Vivek is going to be at the debate. They didn't say Vivek is going to be the pick, but he will be at the debate. I hope they pick Vivek. In my opinion, from what I've seen in debates and whatnot over the past few months, he's the best one they have. He's the best person that's revealed himself. I mean, they might pull a rabbit out of a hat and select some random person, okay? But aside from that, I don't see anybody better than Vivek. DeSantis, like, I don't see, you need somebody like him. That'd be a great pick, in my humble opinion. So we're going to see how that whole thing works. We're going to see how it works. All right, let me see. Vivek isn't even on Trump's top 3 list. How do you know that, NKM? Like, give me some of that insider information. I want to know what you know, boss. You don't trust Vivek? I mean, listen, I don't trust anybody, any politician, except for, I really don't trust no politician. It's all about who I think can do the best job. I would like to be able to trust him and really love him and believe in him, but I have to be realistic and understand that probably won't happen. I got to just say, all right, this guy's the best one available. Let's roll with him. That's how I feel. The same thing with Trump, in my opinion. I don't agree with all of what Trump does, and that's fine. It's okay. I'm not going to agree with everything that everyone does, nor do I expect everyone to agree with everything that I do. But I think when you're talking about trying to pick somebody to be the leader of the free world or any other position. You just want the best person available for the job, even if you're not in 100% locked up agreement with them. Does that make sense? Maybe it's just me that feels that way. Now, can I do a little bit of a heel turn? Not a heel turn, just a little bit of a shift. Reggie Jackson. Did I play Reggie Jackson in the whole thing about being called the N-word and whatnot in Alabama in the late 60s when he was a rookie in Major League Baseball? Now, what I want to play here is a little bit more about baseball and why there's fewer African Americans. And this is, in my opinion, less about race and more about money. A lot of sports leagues, they do certain things for money. It's not even about race anymore, although race is a part of it. Same thing with the NBA. The NBA wants to open the door to Europeans. It's not because they are white. It's because if you have more eyes on the game, then you're able to generate more money. And even some non-white players even some non-white players are European. One that comes to mind, Giannis over in Milwaukee. Giannis is obviously Nigerian, but he grew up in Greece. So whenever Giannis goes out there and plays, you get in the Africans to watch him and the Europeans. There was a game where Giannis played. I forget where he was. It was a whole big section of Greek fans with the flags and everything. So the whole point I'm making is they want to open the game up to the Euros to increase visibility, therefore increasing people that play basketball, who are interested in basketball, and are going to spend money on merchandise and go to the games and things of this nature. When the NBA goes to Mexico City, when they go to Europe, when they go to China, the games are all sold out. You see what I'm saying? They want to be international to make more money. Now, in the case of Major League Baseball, what they want to do is concentrate their recruitment efforts on Latin America and the Caribbean to get black players from there because it costs less than native-born American black players, in my humble opinion. Let's watch this. And again, it's not even about race because they're both black, but it's like, okay, you cost less than him, so come on. And they're going to fill up the majors and the minors. You're going to see all the time. It's going to be guys that they don't pick it no English. They pick it the penny, but they be looking just like me, okay? My skin tone, but they don't pick it no English. Let's watch this.
Well, Reverend Al, I'll tell you what I know. Okay, back in 1982, when I worked for the San Francisco Examiner, I did something that had never been done before or since. I did a detailed study on this. 1982, it was 18% African Americans in baseball. The all-time high was in the mid-70s at 27%. From talking to black players, white players, executives, all on the record, there were people who told me, again, on the record, that there was a quota system in Major League Baseball that was purposely phasing out African Americans. That's how it became close with Hank Aaron in 1982. And the consensus back then was, by the turn of the century, the 21st century, that the numbers would be below 10%, which they are right now. And matter of fact, I even had the smoking gun, Reverend Al. I had a white scout give me a computerized scouting report from Major League Baseball back in 82. They had a slot for race. They were keeping track of how many African Americans were in the game. I checked with the National Football League with their scouting report, the NBA and their equivalency of a scouting report back then. They did not have race on their forms, only Major League Baseball.
So let's disregard Al Sharpton because he's not needed for this. This is something that has been known for a long time. I've been known that. That's not even new news. It's news right now because Reggie Jackson came out and said what he said. But this is old information. Everybody knows that. And they've concentrated their efforts in Dominican Republic, Cuba, Venezuela, Colombia, places like that. That's what's going on. So when you see guys like Bartolo Colon and all this and that, it's because it was a purposeful effort to switch from the black American player to the black Caribbean and black Latin. That's what happened. Okay. And again, it was for financial purposes because if you are a black player coming out of college and you got a high power agent, you got Drew Rosenhaus, and you're trying to get top dollar, you're trying to be like Cuba Gooding Jr., show me the money. You're trying to be like that versus Bartolo Colon, Javier Becerra, somebody like that, one of these guys growing up in the Dominican Republic, okay, you happy just to be there and get whatever kind of money you can get. Now, some of these guys do rise to a certain level of fame and fortune, but when you look at the aggregate of all the players, it's going to be typically less than if they were all black American. It's similar to what's happening with the migrant crisis, where you're bringing in the migrants to replace regular everyday Americans. That's kind of what's going on there. Matter of fact, do I have a clip? I wanted to show you guys something from Tucker Carlson. He was talking about this. Okay, hold on. This was really, really good. I'm gonna do a video on this tomorrow, actually, from Tucker, because he was speaking about something similar to this, although not sports, but the whole great replacement theory kerfuffle. All right, so let's check this out. And then I have another baseball clip from, I believe, David Justice. So Tucker first, David Justice. Check it out.
So much for your address today. So you talked a little bit about immigration, and in the past you've talked about how white Australians, Americans, Europeans are being replaced by non-white immigrants in what is often referred to as the Great Replacement Theory.
So the reporter is saying Tucker Carlson said that he has often spoke about non-white immigrants coming to the United States, maybe the West in general, and replacing the white residents. That's what she said that he said. Okay, let's keep on going.
This is the same.
Have I said that whites are being replaced?
Well,
I don't think I said that.
Well, it's been mentioned on your show 4,000 times. And
really, when did I say that?
On your show.
I said whites are being replaced?
You have said that before.
Really?
Yeah.
I would challenge you to cite that, because I'm pretty sure I haven't said that. I said native-born Americans are being replaced, including blacks.
Native-born Americans.
Native-born Americans.
And
Americans who, like black Americans, have been African Americans, have been in the United States for, in many cases, their families over 400 years. And their concerns are every bit as real and valid and alive to me as the concerns of white people whose families have been there 400 years. So I've never said that whites are being replaced. Not one time. And you can't cite it.
Untrue.
So we just met, but when our relationship starts with a lie, it makes it tough to be friends. So
you've been lying
let's
about
pull
my
that back. I'm happy to explain what I do think.
So,
well, you actually can't cite it because I didn't say it, and I don't believe it. And I'm telling you that to your face, so why don't you just accept me at face value? My concern is that the people who are born in the country are the main responsibility of its leaders. And as noted earlier, when those leaders shift their concern from the people whose responsibility it is to take care of to people around the world to put their priorities above that of their own citizens, that's immoral.
Very well said. It's kind of a long video. It's like 6 minutes long, but I will do a video on this tomorrow to give you guys more, but you get the general gist of what's happening. Tucker's talking about, hey, look, it's not about white. It's not about a color. What's happening here is that Americans are being replaced. And because when you say when normies, when they hear about the Great Replacement Theory or the migrant crisis, they think about Mexicans. It's not even Mexicans coming over here. You have other Central Americans like Guatemalans, Salvadorians, things of this nature. But the actual problem is the whole world's coming over here. They said, I think it was in 1 year, they were able to catch, not even the gotaways, but they were able to catch 400,000 people from 190 countries. That's pretty much every country in the world. Faraway places you wouldn't even think of. Okay, Pacific Island places, way deep in Africa, war-torn countries, China, a lot of Chinese. It's to the point where they're using TikTok to give them step-by-step instructions on how to cross the border or how to seek asylum or how to get into the country in the way that they shouldn't be doing. All right. Using our system against us for their own personal benefit. It's not even about no color. It's about Americans. You're born here, raised here, and you got these people coming from all over the world into your territory, into your space. So yeah, Tucker Carlson is right on point. And by the way, he was in Australia during that particular talk. And I promise I'm gonna give you more of that tomorrow. Now, here is David Justice, to go back to the whole baseball point, talking about the same thing I was saying about how they go to different parts of the world, Major League Baseball, to recruit black players over there, but not here in America. Check it out.
They build facilities in Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. They build facilities for underprivileged Latin kids, which is absolutely great that they do, because they're giving them an opportunity that they would not have because of their financial means. And we see a lot of Latin players come to the major leagues and ball out. Why can't you do that stateside, though? Why can't you put facilities in LA and fund them? Put something in the South. Put something, put them, strategically around the country and provide an avenue for us to play like you do in these other countries. Well, Keyshawn, that's be simple to do, right?
It feels that way.
Right? Unless you really don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. And like I said, we could talk about racism and that's fine. I mean, if somebody wants to say this is a racist thing to do that, that's fine. I'm not really going to down that hill to say that it's not. But the main thing, in my opinion, is to say that it's about financial. It's about financial. That's really it. All right. If they can pay a migrant to build a house $10 an hour and they can work all day, okay, playing the music, $10 an hour, then they'll do that versus paying you what you should be getting paid to do dangerous and arduous labor like that. And then as a result of the very cheap Hispanic labor to build houses, you're going to have new construction that is shoddy at best. Or they can build the house quickly for the $10 an hour. They'll be out there working hard too. But there can often be catastrophic errors. How can it not be when you're talking about a language barrier sometimes, when you're talking about they're not really getting paid too much, they're here illegally. There's going to be some problems, of course. Like I said, in my neighborhood, I was on it. I was on top of them like white on rice. But I had neighbors that were not even living here, and they were having their homes built completely sight unseen. They never visited one time. And then when they come to the actual house to live there, they're using the toilet all of a sudden. Also, they got a whole flood in the living room or in the closet, the basement or whatever, because they just kind of let stuff happen in their absence. Guys doing whatever they want to the house for that $10 an hour. All right. That's kind of what's happening. But anyway, I digress. Oh, the music is good. Don't get it twisted. I was kind of sad when they left. When they stopped building houses here, I was kind of mad. I was like, man, I wanted to get my good morning. I wanted to get that good cranking in there, I wanted to get to the point where it's a horse dancing in the middle of the street to some loud music, little mariachi band. Yeah, I love a good mariachi band. If I could sing, I definitely would be a lead singer in a pop-up mariachi band one day, but that's a different story, and I digress. Now, remember your man here, Jamal Bowman. Jamal Bowman lost his Democratic primary in New York and got curb stomped. Actually, I think he got like 38% of the vote, and it was only it was only between him and another guy. It wasn't like a bunch of people in the primary. It was just him and another guy. The guy curb stomped him. Now, remember, this is Jamal Bowman. He was at the AOC event recently, or it might have been a Jamal Bowman event with AOC there. They were out there ranting and raving, hollering, dancing. This dude's, in full geek, dweeb, nerd mode, rapping the Wu-Tang Clan, cussing, all of that on stage. Obviously, it didn't work. Obviously, you need to do a little bit more than that. Your lyrics were not really hitting the mark. It was a little bit off. Therefore, you have lost your Democratic primary in New York. Again, this is Jamal Bowman, Democratic House Rep from New York. Now, remember, this is the guy that pulled the fire alarm. That's him. Remember that? That was the craziest thing I saw in my life. Now, a little bit of refresher. I think there was a vote happening at this time in the House, and Jamal Bowman wanted to delay the proceedings, so he pulled the fire alarm. This caused like an evacuation of the actual place. And he tried to act like he didn't do it, but then when the footage came out, it was clear. I think at first he was trying to say, oh, I was just trying to go through the door and I didn't realize, blah, blah, blah. It made the alarm go off. He went up to the doors, took the signs off that said that the alarm will ring or they close. He went up to the door, saw the signs, threw them on the ground, and then he went to the actual alarm and hit it, but acted like he didn't do it. And the thing about it is, people may say, well, look, ABL, you're doing a little bit too much. That's not really a big deal. Well, listen, you got Donald Trump being convicted for nothing. What did Trump really do that warrants a conviction in the whole Stormy Daniels case? Nothing. Now, what Jamal Bowman did can also be, that could also be a crime he can get convicted for. But there was nothing, a slap on the wrist at best. What was his plea? like $2,000, stupid stuff. You have several different tiered justice system. You are in Congress and they like you. You're on their side. You're their guy. They'll give you a pass. You're the president and they don't like you and you're not their guy. Well, you might go to the penitentiary to make big rocks, little rocks. That's kind of how it goes. Yeah, he did pull the plug on his career as well. He most certainly did. Yeah. So that's Jamal Bowman. Now, do I have something right here? I want to show this. I've not seen this, but I want to show it. So I guess this is Jamal laughing about maybe the mugshot from Trump, maybe laughing about Trump getting convicted or whatever. I tell you what, one thing about this guy, he loves some Wu-Tang Clan. He has on a different shirt than he had on at the rally, but he still has the Wu-Tang logo on it. A nerd. And that's fine if you're a nerd, but like, let's just embrace the nerddom rather than trying to pretend you're not.
We got you, and more to come. Clown, thug, crook, criminal.
And that's crazy. Thug, crook, criminal, when you were about to get locked up by the police out there in D.C. for pulling the fire alarm and then lying about it. So I'm not trying to hear that. But hey, the joke's on you. You are no longer in Congress. You got curb stomped out there in your primary. And you know what's funny? He tried to blame the Jews on it. Oh, yes, he did try to blame the Jews. He sure did. Talking about some APAC got in the way. It's like, my man, at the end of the day, you suck, man. That's what happened. You're garbage. All right. And then the thing is, you're a Democrat and you lost to a Democrat in a Democratic primary. And a lot of these Democrats are not really for the war in Israel or whatever. So why are you trying to blame the Jays? Ultimately, you just garbage and you lost. Simple as that. You know, and it's funny because the left will say that Trump cannot handle a loss. He cannot handle defeat. And he wants to try to steal the election. In that same breath, they'll say, oh, AIPAC did this to me. They had a bunch of money on me. All this and that and the third. It's a right-wing conspiracy. Like Sheng Thao, the mayor of what's the mayor of Oakland? Not San Fran, but Oakland. So the mayor of Oakland, I'm trying to find that clip right quick. The mayor of Oakland is trying to say that it's some type of a right-wing conspiracy and it's not really her fault, all this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, is it a right-wing conspiracy that has your city looking the way it looks? All right. Matter of fact, let's go here. We got a few Oakland clips that we can get to. We got a few Oakland clips now. Let's check it out. The caption says, no, it's not that other country, or it's not that other country. It's Oakland, California, 2024. Okay, music, let's not have that. But you see what's going on. I mean, like, what is this? Anybody from Oakland, like, what is this? This appears to be some kind of old storefront, but the roof is gone. I'm not sure how this front facade is even standing. Okay, we got all kind of tags, all kind of just random stuff on it. Okay, beat up cars. That's Oakland. Oakland, man, I don't know, man. Just go ahead and just put a fork in it. How can anybody live there in these particular kinds of environments? Like, I just don't get it. Here's more. All right, we got a car on fire randomly in Oakland. Just randomly. And the car is kind of like parked perpendicular to a storefront. And the front of the vehicle is on fire. Can we get some fire out there? Can we get some fire rescue or nah? Can we get a fire hydrant popped open? Like, is that really a thing you can do? Listen, shout out to Keith Lee. You guys know who Keith Lee is. I did a video about him a while ago on the channel where he went to Oakland and said that, look, it's not the place to be right now. It's not the place to be. People are just in survival mode. It's not for tourists. I mean, his review was so scathing it made their news. It made their news and it went viral too. Hold on, let me see if I can find that right quick. Yeah, matter of fact, yeah, this is the video here. And about 5 months ago, so January 12, 24, it has 330,000 views from their local news out there, NBC Bay Area, of Keith Lee, the food vlogger from TikTok, talking about just how bad Oakland is. Let's check this out.
Of bad news when it comes to our national image, a TikTok star and the president of JP Morgan Chase both offering up some grim reviews of the Bay Area. Today, the mayors of San Francisco and Oakland are responding. Here's NBC's Sergio Quintana.
Unfortunately. Now, I want to see what Sheng Thao said back then about Oakland. Now, and contrast that to what's happening right now with the federales. Listen, how do you have the FBI, IRS, and the United States Postal Service raid you? The mailman raiding your crib for real? That's crazy. You put a little small toy dog in the front, they ain't gonna come in because that's like oil and water, but that's a different story. Anyway, let's keep on going.
In a parting message that included video of the Oakland Bay Bridge, MMA fighter turned food reviewer Keith Lee listed a few reasons why he decided to end his Bay Area food tour early.
I truly don't believe the Bay is a place for tourists right now. And that's what I was, a tourist. The people in the Bay are just focused on surviving. That's the business owners, the locals. The amount of tents and living structures and burnt up cars that we saw people living in was shocking to say the least.
It's a message blasted out to an estimated 15 million followers. Meanwhile, high-profile CEO Jamie Dimon also offered up some harsh words after visiting San Francisco for the JP Morgan Healthcare Conference this week.
San Francisco is in far worse shape than New York. What is it that makes it an attractive city? It's parks, it's art, but it's definitely safety. It's jobs, it's job creation, it's the ability to have affordable housing. It's all those things. So it's not any one thing, but any city who doesn't do a good job, it will lose its population.
During the opening of a new Chinese cultural center in Chinatown today, San Francisco Mayor London Breed responded to both critics. She says she agrees with some of Dimon's comments that the city has been too dependent on just the tech industry over the last couple decades.
Now, are they going to raid London Breed's house sometime soon? I don't know. They might not. She might be all right.
She says she's been pushing to change that and pushing for law enforcement improvements like the soon-to-be installed network of 400 license plate reading cameras in the city. Mayor Breed also says some of Dimon's comments may not tell the whole story of his company's time in the city.
No, you got license plate reading cameras. That's fine. But what's that going to do for the people on the streets smoking crack, shooting up drugs, the tents? How is that really going to help that? How is a camera on the light pole going to get someone off the street and make them stop smoking crack all day? How is that going to work? I don't know. You can't have that kind of activity going on. Look, I always say, if I was a king and I could just rule by fiat, do whatever I want to do, anyone who gets caught smoking crack, any kind of meth pipe, crack pipe, needle on the street, you're going to the penitentiary. Big rocks, little rocks. You have to go away. You have to go away. You can't do that on the street. You just can't be camping and putting people in danger. Nah, man, you're going away. You're going away. Gulag, a whole brand new gulag. We could turn Sing Sing or whatever they got out there into a gulag. Put you over there. Don't nobody got no time for that, man. Like, nobody has time for this. I refuse to go to a city that has that kind of stuff going on. ABL, I got a speaking engagement for you. All right, where's it going to be? San Francisco. I'm good. I ain't trying to risk my life to go speak to people. I'm straight.
What I am hearing and the conversations with JP Morgan Chase is, number one, we are coming back to San Francisco next year. Number two, we have more people at this conference this year than even last year.
Across the Bay in Oakland, during an event calling for the recall of Mayor Sheng Thao, a local restaurant owner didn't mince words as he mentioned the latest TikTok from Keith Lee.
Our businesses are dying. They're not dying because we have a bad product or a bad service. They're dying because people don't want to come to Oakland. Keith Lee has 15.3 million viewers. 15 million viewers. He cut his stage short and left because he saw the crime, the cars.
In Lee's post, he also mentioned that he left a little bit early, in part because he had an allergic reaction to something that he ate at one of the restaurants. All in all, two very rough critiques for two cities that are desperate to attract more tourists.
Oh, so we didn't get a response from Sheng Thao, the mayor of Oakland. But yeah, that was going on back in January. I don't see how the city can make it in any longer. But we have something from let me see, Sheng Thao talking about the whole kerfuffle. This is the mayor of Oakland who got raided by the federales. And I think the reason why she got raided is because her boyfriend, the brother, was cutting little side deals with people who contributed to the campaign. Okay, you gave to the campaign. How much you give? $50,000, $100,000. Okay, I'll promise you a seat in the administration. A lot of quid pro quo, a lot of stuff like that. Okay, you get this big contract. It's not gonna. It should be a bid contract. We'll just get it to you. It's no big deal. Don't worry about it. It's yours. Now, that kind of stuff, contracts and campaign finance violation. It's a lot of stuff going on. Plus, the residents are not thrilled with Sheng Thao. They don't like the way things are going. There's a recall effort that was successful. So now the federales are involved. Let's watch what she said here. Let's watch who she blames. The white man, the right-wing conspiracy theorists. Look, trying to blame white wing, right wing, whatever, in a place like Oakland, California, is worse than Juicy Smollett trying to blame these two big bodybuilding Nigerians for trying to lynch him, talking about this is MAGA country. Sir, Chicago, Illinois, and the polar vortex is not MAGA country. It's icicle country. It's black ice on the road country. It's snowfall, lake effect snow country. It's not MAGA country. You're living in a very liberal place. Anybody with a MAGA hat on might get tarred and feathered immediately once they enter the Chicago city limits. What are we talking about exactly? What are we saying? Why say things that don't make any sense? Why try to blame right-wing people for what's happening in Oakland? So when Keith Lee came and left because it was dangerous, the food was making them sick, it was an uneasy environment, was that because of a right-wing conspiracy? When every other day I could turn on the TV, turn on my social media and see burnt up cars, crack smoking, just deplorable, dangerous conditions in Oakland, is that a right-wing conspiracy theory? I'm having a hard time figuring it out, but let's see what she says here.
I'm not going down like that. We're not going down like that. The people who voted for me deserve to have their voices heard and communities prioritized. I'm seeking the truth right now, just as much as you all are. But I will not be bullied, and I will not be disparaged, and I will not be threatened out of this office. There are a lot of radical right-wing forces who know they will never win an election in Oakland fair and square. They know their extreme views are at odds with our Oakland values, but they have built the rules to protect and preserve their power and maintain dominance over the rest of us.
Huh? So what right-wing group has any power in California, period, let alone Oakland? What are we saying here, Ms. Sheng Thao? I don't understand. I don't get it. This is Juicy Smollett 2.0.
We are a threat to that order. I know that. The people who supports me know that. You see, this was never going to be an easy fight. But I tell you.
Yeah, she is crying. Look, I don't want to see no tears. Listen, I don't want to see no tears. You got little kids getting deleted. You got all kind of crime and violence. You got your city is going down the toilet, literally. But now that you got raided, all of a sudden you want to start crying. I don't want to see no tears, no facial moisture, no sweat, no nothing. I need you to be dry as a bone on a hot summer day outside with a dog playing with it. That's what I need from you right now. I don't need this theatrics rigmarole.
It's most definitely a fight worth winning. I will continue to lift up those most vulnerable, to lead by example, to prove that this system might not be designed for us, but we can and we will build a brighter future for our children. This is my mission as your mayor.
So that's the end of that right there. But yeah, this is Sheng Thao, the mayor of Oakland, California, who is, I guess, recalled. They had the recall. They got the signatures. So I think that was successful. And then she got raided by the feds right around the same time they had the recall. So I think she's pretty much toast. And she just became the mayor in 23, if I'm not mistaken. Like, she's a new mayor. Also, she's the first Hmong mayor of a major U.S. city. And the Hmong, these are an ethnic minority from China who also are in Vietnam and Laos. All right. So shout out to the Hmong community. Shout out to all the Asians, all the Chinese over there in California. This lady right here, man, y'all got to get her out of the way. She can't be part of the community no more. If y'all have traditions and whatnot that she do with the Hmong, just go ahead and leave her out. Okay. If you got barbecue, picnics, man, whatever, leave her out. And she might get locked up because the feds raided. If the feds raid your home, it's something going on. They're not going to go through that with nothing coming on the back end. Like with Puff Daddy, when they raided his house in LA and Miami, you knew it was a little something there. Okay, you knew it was a little something there. I don't know what, but there's something. Where there's smoke, there's fire, in my humble opinion. Rex Rucker says she's blaming the boyfriend. What a scumbag. She knows what was happening. That's so silly, Rex Rucker. I don't know why she would. Well, I know why she would do that, but she shouldn't do that because ultimately, like you said, she knew what was happening. If the boyfriend is out here cutting side deals, engaging in political corruption, he's got to run it by her. I mean, you can't just. He's not in the administration, as far as I know. He can't just do whatever he wants to do on his own. She's into it. Sheng Thao's former chief of staff, pardon me, came out to the news and was saying that she had quit back when she got elected because she saw what was happening and wasn't comfortable with it. And she was trying to go to certain people and tell, but people weren't really, it wasn't really connecting. And when she was leaving, she came to Sheng Thao and expressed her grievances. And she was like, don't worry about it. You better get $200,000 a year anyway, so it's fine. They don't care. Look, what's happening with Oakland, as I was saying in my video, they're pretty much just fleecing it because they know that this place is a dump. It's like if you ever gone to a pick and pull, you know, the pick and pull, like you go to a dump, you go in there and just take whatever you need. Maybe you pay some money for it. Maybe you don't. Okay, you go to the dump. You might need a visor for your car. All right, you go in like the inside of your car, a sun visor. You go in there, get your little screwdriver, drill, take the visor from a junk car, take it with you, put it in your car, you off to the races. That's kind of what's happening right here with Oakland, California. It's a dump that still hosts some valuable things. There's still some contract money to be made. There's still federal money to be made. There's still city money to be made, state money. So they're just trying to fleece it until it just goes into the abyss. It's simple. These places with junk cars and crackheads everywhere, they don't care. They let that fall all the way to the ground because they don't see any kind of way to rehabilitate it. All they see is a way to generate revenue and put it in their personal pocket. But I digress. Summer Sky says, ABL, did you see where the Surgeon General is trying to say gun violence is a public health emergency? What that means, he's going to start trying to take our guns. I think I saw that a while ago, but that ain't going to be that. I don't see that going nowhere. I think I saw that somewhere else too. I saw that somewhere else. Oh, it's public health. It's public health emergency. You got to take your guns. And I think it tries to say the same thing for mental health. We have a mental health crisis going on, and we got to confiscate guns as a result. Yeah, I think not. I think that we're not going to do that. Okay, I know I'm not going to do that. Now, hold on. Let me go back here. I got a few more I want to get into. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, we got a few things I want to get into. All right, let me see here. Oh, this is a good one from Raven Simone. Because, you know, I think we still got Pride Month going on. Raven Simone is gay in real life, but she revealed that on Disney, they wanted her to have a gay character. And she refused it. All right. Because even as a gay person, she understands the power of propaganda and she didn't really want to be involved with it. All right. Hold on. I'm hearing my mixer messing up. Y'all give me a second. I fixed it, but it's still kind of messed up. And hopefully you guys are not hearing the robot voice right now. Let me just turn it off for a minute. able to get some sound back. Just a minute. Okay, hold on. All right, we should be good now. We good. All right, perfect. Nah, because I was about to play the video and then I heard some static coming from that. All right, we good.
I think Disney wanted her to be queer in the beginning, and I just didn't feel comfortable doing that. They were like, "Do you want Raven to be gay?" I said, "Why?" "Because you are." I said, bad reason. That's a bad reason. No. Raven Baxter never exhibited any type of sexual identity situation in the priors. I'm not being myself on this show. I'm being a character. Raven Baxter's not gay. I think
So they wanted to make That So Raven gay on Disney Channel. All right. But Raven Simone said, "Nah, we're not going to do that. Raven Simone was never gay. That's not the character. I'm not going to do it." And remember, Raven Simone is gay in real life. But even she was like, "I'm not trying to have that be part of the character because that's just outright propaganda." All right. So yeah, shout out to her. And I think the sound is good now. I see it in the mixer. If the sound is good, it'll give me a thumbs up. Let me know. But I think the sound should be good. So we are straight. All right. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. All right. And where are we going to go next? Oh, this was crazy. Somebody said this is ancient white liberal wisdom. Let's check out Mama and see what she says.
So here's the thing now in Arkansas and much of the South, I'm afraid, and probably every red state in the country. If you are anything other than a white, straight man, your life is in danger.
So look, all the red states, if you're not a white, straight man, your life is in danger. Now, a couple of things. That looks like some kind of pride flag in the background. At this point, I don't know. Anything that's colorful that got stripes, I'm going to call it a pride flag. You might have on a vertical striped shirt, a horizontal striped shirt or vertical striped shirt. I'm going to say it's a pride flag if it got one too many colors in it. Okay. If your horizontal striped shirt has more than 4 colors, I'm going to say that you're gay because you're wearing the pride flag at that point. But I digress. Anyway, she's saying if you're living in a red state and you're not a straight white male, your life is in danger. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I feel the most safe as a black male in the red state. California, going to San Francisco, Oakland, Los Angeles, I do not feel safe at all. Maybe if I had a gun, like if I had a whole John Wick gun arsenal and an armed security team, maybe I feel safe in those places. But out here, Tennessee, red state, it's nothing but nothing. It's all good. I have diverse neighbors. Everybody's nice. Crime is not really an issue. It's good. I got my guns. If I had them, I have the right to have guns. It's fine. And the crazy part is the majority of black folks live down here in these red states in the South. So I don't understand. This is just propaganda. Somebody said, "Is it Dana Carvey?" That's crazy. That's crazy. Shout out Dana Carvey.
Your rights are already being taken away. Wake up, people. Vote. For crying out loud. Register. Vote. Follow what's going on. Pay attention. I don't have much longer to live in this world, so a lot of you do. For crying out loud. Protect yourself. Protect your children. Get involved. Register. Vote.
Can we just pause for a minute? Now, she said she's in Arkansas, right? I think that was where she said, she mentioned Arkansas from the beginning, and then she said any other red state. So I'm going to presume she's in Arkansas. Now, I've told the story before about Little Rock and my cousin that's from Little Rock. So when you're talking about if you're not a straight white male, you are in danger. Your life is in danger. If that's the case, which I don't really believe it's a race thing, but if that's the case, then the question would be, who would be the one to take your life if you're not a straight white male? So the story goes, if I said it before, I said it recently, but I'm going to say it one more time for this because it makes sense. My cousin just randomly told me one day. We were in West Virginia playing with fireworks, 4th of July one year, many years ago. He just started opening up to me. That's kind of a common theme in my life. People just open up to me for no reason. Okay, you like a nice guy to talk to. I'm going to just talk to you. But anyway, we're talking about Little Rock, where he's from, and he says that they would have the TVs on the ground with no TV stand, and they would just be already prone on the floor watching the TV. They would not sit in the couch watching TV because there were so many drive-by shootings in Little Rock, Arkansas in the early 90s that it didn't make sense to sit on the couch because you got the bullets penetrate the window and hit you on the couch and kill you. These are little kids having to do this, 7, 8, 9 years old or younger than that, 4 or 5 years old. All right, so when we're talking about if you're not a straight white male, your life is in danger. The question would be, if that's true, then who's going to take your life? Is it going to be a straight white male that does it? I think not.
Let your voice be heard. I'd like to, if I could reach through this and grab you by the throat and tell you how important this is. And quite frankly, I marched for all this shit back in the 60s, and now I have to do it again? What the fuck is...
Whoa. All right, Mama. I didn't know it was going to go there. I didn't quite know that it was going to go there. All right, so shout out to her. All righty. Yeah, she got a little mad at the end there. Got a little bit little perturbed. But no, man, I mean, yeah, that's right. NERN banging in Little Rock. That's correct. That was a real documentary. So yeah, shout out to Mama getting offended at the end there. I mean, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, we have more here that I want to get into. Oh, we got to get into Christina. So Christina Peterson, the crazy judge out there in Atlanta Metro, has been removed from the bench. All right, let me yeah, there we go. Let's play
tonight
this.
a Douglas.
Let's play what I want to play here. This makes a lot of sense. And then I'm going to show you guys the systemic incompetence. The systemic incompetence things that she was doing. All right.
County judge has been removed from her position following an opinion released this morning by the Georgia State Supreme Court. Now, this decision isn't connected to the felony charge Christina Peterson is facing after an arrest outside of an Atlanta lounge last week, but dozens of judicial misconduct violations found well before then.
11 July's Teresa Bowles has Peterson and her attorney's response, as well as reaction from Douglasville residents.
Not even a week after the arrest of a Douglas County judge was caught on camera.
I don't care!
Christina Peterson has been removed from office, but the arrest has little to do with it. The Georgia Supreme Court laid out 28 proven counts of judicial misconduct out of 30 alleged violations while she was a probate judge.
28.
Now, as I was saying in my video, I think when they say that the arrest was not related, that's not true. That's my opinion. I think that the arrest was drawing the camel's back. You have all these ethics violations, all these complaints, all these problems, all this misuse of funds, in my opinion. You get all this stuff going on. And then on top of all of that, you want to go to a club and start fighting drunk at 38 years old. That's just not how we do things. A complete pit bull, untrainable. Like, you ever see like a pit bull just go crazy for no reason, and just, you have some pits that are not going to go crazy like that. It's just okay. But you have some that are just going to uncontrollable. That's this judge. And she was elected. Oh, and by the way, she lost her election. So there was I think it was a primary. She lost the primary. Then she was voted to be removed. Then she went to the club and started fighting.
Violation, that's a lot.
The court explains Peterson's violations include improper conduct toward county officials and inappropriate use of court resources.
Hey, B to the right says, hey, ABL, I changed my mind. I don't want to get hooked up anymore. She lost her job now. Hilarious. Shout out to you.
She's not that fit because she's a corruption business or she thinks she could push
things on the table or abuse of power.
This removal is immediate, and a spokesperson for Douglas County tells me nothing like this has ever happened before to one of their judges. Peterson can't be a judge in the state of Georgia for the next 7 years, which Douglasville resident Sandra McBean believes is fair.
Give her time to rethink what she have done.
Peterson disagrees, posting this on Instagram. These attacks on me have been occurring since 2015. As I stated, this is a setup, and this is not justice.
This is more than incompetence, because if it's me and I'm in a situation where, okay, I got charges against me, I might go to the penitentiary, because first she was hit with ethics violations in the whole situation with the court, with being a judge. You got 20 ethics violations. It was at maximum 50. It was 50 max ethics violations, and they got it down to 20. Then you're not even on the bench anymore because you lost your election. So your term is going to be concluded at the end of the year anyway. That's second thing. The third thing is you have criminal charges against you because you were fighting the police outside the club. You got a felony charge on your back. You got all that stuff going on, but what's your concern? I got to get on these internets and clear my name. Really? Really? Listen, it's like somebody being a crackhead who got caught with the pipe in their mouth, Hunter Biden, and then when to go say, oh, I don't smoke crack. It's like, well, what's this? What's this video right here? You beaming the Scotty right on this video. What am I looking at? Why would you down that hill? Just stop talking for a minute. How about that?
Peterson's attorney said in part, quote, we were able to provide her with a vigorous defense in court, getting numerous counts dismissed and fighting off 2 motions for interim suspension. The latest motion in the case detailed last Thursday's arrest outside Red Martini Lounge in Buckhead. Peterson is accused of hitting an officer. She faces 2 charges for this, including a felony. The attorney representing Peterson in her criminal case maintains that it was a misunderstanding and Peterson was breaking up a fight.
When you hold office, you're accountable.
A Douglas County representative says a senior judge will likely appoint a retired judge to finish Peterson's term ending in December. McBean is hoping this won't happen again with the next judge.
All right, so there's more. I'm gonna show you guys exactly what she was doing, why she was, what the systemic incompetence entailed. This is an older video, about 2 months ago, April 1st, 24. This is what the systemic incompetence entailed. The wedding, like she allowed a wedding to happen in the court, like all kind of stuff.
An extraordinary development tonight in the long-running investigation into Douglas County Judge Christina Peterson.
In a rare move, a hearing panel decided Peterson is guilty of, quote, systemic incompetence and should not remain in office. Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis explains.
Judge, you want to take a break?
Christina Peterson did not do herself any favors during 7 days of hearings beginning last September. The JQC hearing panel's report criticized her for not taking any responsibility for the 30 counts of judicial misconduct lodged against her.
I just don't have a memories of my dad. I don't know who he is.
The most troubling, wrote the panel, Peterson's decision to jail this woman for trying to amend her marriage certificate to include the real name of her recently discovered father.
And the reason why this woman got jailed for that, okay, so the way the jailing happened was she went to amend her marriage license because she discovered the real name of her father. So she's like, okay, let's just go fix that, make sure everything's on the up and up. It's a simple change. It's nothing major. I shouldn't go to get locked up for just amending the marriage license to include my real father's name that I just learned. When she gets there, the judge, Christina, sees that she's married to a black man, and she holds her in contempt and then makes the husband pay $500 to get her out. So she's in jail for 2 days while that's going on. Now, like I was saying in my video, sometimes people may say, well, look, ABL, it's only $500. Well, I'd say like 40% of Americans don't have $500 just to pony up like that. It's not so simple. And then it might have been a delay of being able to get the money from point A to point B. The court might have been closed. I don't know what's going on. But regardless, she was held in contempt and jailed for basically being married to a black man. I guess the woman, Christina, does not like to see black men with other races of women. So she's a racist as well.
To jail
No.
PJ Skelton served 2 days of a 20-day jail sentence for contempt before her husband could pay a $500 fine. Such a hasty and shockingly disproportionate reaction is the hallmark of Peterson's intemperance, wrote the panel. The report criticized Peterson's attempt at this meeting to get her HOA board to settle a lawsuit she had filed, even though she knew the HOA was represented by an attorney. Peterson's attempts to avoid responsibility for these clear violations bordered on the farcical, severely eroding her credibility with the hearing panel.
You cannot go in this building, and eventually she went in.
The sheriff's office said Peterson ignored their orders and held a wedding after hours, allowing people inside without deputies present.
I mean, what in the world? So after hours, let's just have a wedding. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna just let you guys come on in here. You can schedule it there. I got you. And you know what? She probably got paid for that too. She probably got paid for the wedding and put the money in her pocket. And she shouldn't have even had anybody in there at all during that time. And the crazy part is that she was making like $250,000, which is more than what she should have been making. But she was making plenty of money, but she's doing extra corrupt stuff and then still hanging in the same type of ghetto places, stupid stuff.
She once hit a panic button when a deputy was late escorting her to court, causing a temporary panic among security. And when county staff criticize her actions, it quickly triggers allegations of obstructionism or even racism. These communications and actions reveal a judge who publicly vilifies colleagues, is quick to threaten them with unnecessary legal action, and generally projects a spiteful and vainglorious persona.
I'm the first African-American female and Democrat. Yes.
Man, I'm about tired of seeing these women start. Like, look, Sheng Thao and Christina Peterson, I don't want to see your tears. I don't want to see dude tears. I don't want to see girl tears. I don't want to see no tears, man. Ultimately, just tighten up.
I was never celebrated or congratulated. On my day of swearing in, I was sworn in by Judge Emerson. I received my first JQC complaint.
Peterson's main defense was her inexperience as a judge, a problem she promised has been addressed through additional training. But the panel was not buying it. The report also cited multiple examples of failure to actually do her job, needlessly delaying petitions before her office. The hearing panel said Peterson was guilty of systemic incompetence. Judges are expected to act in a manner that promoted the integrity and impartiality of the judiciary. Respondent has shown that she cannot or will not do so. And so she must go.
Peterson has 20 business days to file.
So yeah, that's pretty much a wrap. I mean, she's toast. They got her out of there. She's out of the seat. She didn't win her re-election bid, lost in the primary, and she's locked up because of the whole nightclub fight kerfuffle, fighting the officer, all kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there could be a background check. I don't know if she has something in the background that may have popped up. Maybe do an interview with people that used to work with her, because that can't really go on anymore. That cannot go on. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. Now, you know what? I had a theory. I'm going to show some fat videos about these fat positive people. I had a theory. My theory is that Lizzo was promoted by Big Pharma so they could push, quote unquote, body positivity, which ain't nothing but embracing obesity. They push her out there, make her be popular, and then once you create a lot of people that embrace obesity and don't worry about trying to, become physically fit at all, now they can sell more Ozempic to the general public and other weight loss medications. That's my opinion. I mean, why not? It makes sense. You make everybody fatter than they should be, decrease physical activity, make being fat a trendy thing to do, make it be a thing that makes money on social media, eating food, mukbangs or whatnot. All right. You kind of get benefits from being fat, at least on a small level socially. That happens, you're going to increase the number of fat people. Now we can sell Ozempic and other things like that. Yes, there's going to be long-term effects. Yes, there's going to be some crazy side effects that happen immediately, but it don't matter. It doesn't matter. We made our money. That's my opinion. Look, I wouldn't put it past these people. Big Pharma, they literally dumped the pills right in Appalachia on purpose as an experiment to see what it would do to us. They did that. Like they literally did it. It's lawsuits and all that where they come out and say it. I saw a documentary about this, and they had like a pain. They got all kind of pill mills, but they had a pain center right in West Virginia somewhere, and it was packed like the club on a Friday night in Atlanta. Packed. People talking about legalizing drugs. That's going to be the effect of it. You're gonna have whole entire towns just flat on their face on drugs. But hey, at least we can make money if we're Big Pharma. Now, this person right here is talking about the fat phobia thing, and she says fat phobia is real because she could not fit in the photo booth.
You want to know what's fat phobic? The photo booths. And here's why. Only one fat bitch fits in here. We tried to both get in, and I got stuck.
I don't think you're going to pick wrong.
You got this. You want to know what's...
Yeah, so photo booths are fat phobic, and they're kind of like laughing and joking about being fat. They're probably young too. They're probably like in their 20s, maybe not even beyond 24. These are young people, and they big like that, man, because it's fine. Like, you know, you got the Lizzos and whatnot of the world talking about something. It's all right to be big like this. You built like a whole ice cream cone. You built like Humpty Dumpty. You're built like a globe on a stick that's not spinning, stuck in the mud. It's just crazy. And I ain't even really trying to be funny. I'm just saying, I'm just naturally going to do that. But I'm saying you should be worried about your health. Worry about your health. Don't worry about trying to get clicks on Instagram and TikToks and whatnot. Because these people, a lot of these fat influencers, dead by the time they get to be 35. And I want to see y'all live. I don't want to see nobody keel over and kick the bucket from a heart attack at 32 years old because you got hypertension because you're 400 pounds and 5'2". All right? I don't want to see that happen to you. A hard-boiled egg in the cup. But anyway, I'm tripping. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I got some more.
Come with me.
There's a fat con they have. There's a fat convention. All right, let's watch this.
Come with me to the first ever Fat Con. Yes, that's right, haters. There is a convention just for us fats now. There were so many amazing panels, ranging from Fat Liberation 101 to Fat Lesk to Fat Nerds. I even talked on a panel with the Plus Bus on 101 ways to lose the weight of fat hate. There was an amazing plus-size fashion show featuring multiple designers. This one's Chub Rub.
It was what? Chub Rub?
This one's Chub Rub. I came out to vend and help with the Plus Bus with a few pieces that I carry in their store. They had an incredible vendors hall with all fat artists.
Now listen, I want to just make something clear. I'm not just trying to joke on overweight people who just don't look the best. But I'm talking about morbid obesity. I'm talking about COVID-19 risk category. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm speaking about, okay? If you don't look like you eat steroids for a living all day, that's one thing. Okay, that's fine. But let's not also look like you eat hamburgers, hot dogs, Takis, all 24/7, 10,000 calories every 2 hours. Let's not look like that either.
Designers, plus size vintage. Here's some of my art. And here is the amazing Chub Rub Clothing's booth. So cute. It was wonderful to connect with fans and new friends. Thank you so much for supporting my work. There was so much.
Oh, okay, that's enough. I don't want to. I don't want to see a bunch of stuff hanging out. But you get the idea. They got a fat con, so they are embracing it. I feel like it's a thing. It's a marketing campaign. Your Lizzos and whatnot being pushed to the forefront, making everybody kind of feel like it's all right. All right, they could have a few more hamburgers and whatnot, a few more hamburgers and hot dogs. You know, wash it down with a whole Mountain Dew. You know, do a few drugs or whatever, and it's fine. And then when they die early, it's like, oops, that's kind of what's going on. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video. Yeah, I know my eyes too. My eyes, my virgin eyes. I'm sorry. I apologize for that one. That was a really crazy situation right there. But yeah, that's what's happening now. Oh, we have a little bit about the debate here. Let's talk about Jake Tapper. Now, Jake Tapper is the debate moderator for tomorrow. And again, for you guys who did not hear me earlier, just not coming in, I will be covering the debate. That's going to be tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. So Thursday, which is tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, I'll be covering the debate on this channel. And I'll probably be here a little bit earlier before the debate, maybe about 8:30 to 8:45. Because, do a little bit of preliminary talking, then we'll get into the debate. I think it'd be an hour or an hour and a half. So we'll be here for like kind of the regular time as a regular ABL live. It's a slight later start. Now, this is Jake Tapper talking about Trump. And again, this will be the debate moderator. And after we watch this, let me know if you think he's going to be impartial, if he's going to be biased, like what's going to happen. Check it out.
The dehumanizing rhetoric of Adolf Hitler is once again alive and well on a national political stage. This time, of course, in the United States. Donald Trump, a couple times over the weekend, referred to immigrants from South America, Africa, and Asia. He did not mention Europe. South America, Africa, and Asia as, quote, poisoning the blood of our country, which it's not hyperbole. That does very directly echo Adolf Hitler's language before World War II. To open up a copy of Hitler's Mein Kampf, you would find the Nazi leader describing the mixing of non-Germans with Germans as poisoning. There's really no other way to say it. Donald Trump's language mirrors this directly. The dehumanizing.
So there we go. That is Jake Tapper talking about Donald Trump in a few different cases, basically calling him Hitler, Orange Man bad, right? That's the whole thing. And he will be the debate's moderator. Now, what could happen during the debate is the mics get cut. And when I say the mics, I mean Trump's mic gets cut. I have faith that they won't abuse this feature, but it's CNN, so I don't put anything past them. Now, this feature was used recently during an interview on CNN with somebody that's from the Trump administration, I think, or from the Trump team. Now, this caption says, CNN cuts off Trump spokesperson's microphone after she brings up Jake Tapper's history of anti-Trump bias coverage. Does anyone think Trump will be treated fairly by the debate this week? I mean, I'm optimistic, but we got to just see what happens to really be able to judge. Let me go ahead and put this up right here, and let's let it roll.
Well, first of all, it takes someone 5 minutes to Google Jake Tapper, Donald Trump, to see that Jake Tapper has consistently,
we're going to stop this interview if you're going to keep
President
attacking
Trump
my colleagues.
Adolf Hitler.
Ma'am, I'm going to stop this interview if you continue
stating,
to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
Yes.
If you are here to speak on his behalf, I am willing to have this conversation.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now,
I'm sorry, guys. We're going to come back out to the panel. Caroline, thank you very much for your time. You are welcome to come back.
Well,
so there we go. Just cutting her off, So do you guys think that's a preview of how the debate will go? Again, that's a Trump spokesperson speaking on CNN to the anchor. I'm not sure what her name is. Looking like Bruce Jenner a little bit, but I'm not sure what her name is. Anyway, so do you think that'll be how the actual debate goes? Or will it be fair? Will they let them talk? How's it going to happen? Y'all let me know. And what in the world are they going to pump Biden full of? Man, it's got to be some kind of unique elixir, some kind of RPG Hogwarts type potion. Put it on your forehead and you'd be good to go for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. You'd be able to talk and walk and be all right. He gonna need something, man, because when I see Joe Biden, I see a corpse, slightly animated, no threat. I know the federalists are watching. I wish Joe Biden lives to be 1,000 years old, so no threat. I'm just saying he looks pretty raggedy at best, like Vampire in Brooklyn, where Kadeem Hardison's character. I know I'm showing my age. I'm old. It's fine. Vampire in Brooklyn, Kadeem Hardison's character, when he became a vampire in the beginning, he looked young and spry. But toward the end, he continued to deteriorate because he was dead, right? He was a vampire. He became a zombie. and stuff was falling off him, his fingers and whatnot. Like he just kept falling apart toward the end because he became a zombie. So kind of undead situation. That's the same way Joe Biden looks. This guy looks bad. And listen, I understand that we all age. Lord willing, I'll be able to age gracefully. But come on. I understand that you have to, at a certain point, be 81 years old, and that might look a certain way depending upon who you are. But maybe you shouldn't be the president looking like that. Maybe just go back to Delaware, drive your Corvette, hang out with your grandkids, and live happily ever after. Why must you be the president? Why must you do that job specifically? Go do something else with your time. When I get to be his age, if I'm hunched over or whatever, I want to just be going fishing, just having a good time, golf, fishing, something like that. Old man activities, not trying to be the president. But anyway, I digress. I'm getting triggered. Let's watch this right here from Vivek.
I'll also tell you something I told President Trump, and I'll tell you as well, is I give him a lot of credit for doing this debate on the terms that were effectively set by Biden. Hosted by CNN in Atlanta without a live audience would be the equivalent of Joe Biden agreeing to do a Fox News hosted debate in Alabama with 3,000 live audience members. So I give Donald Trump a lot of credit for that. If you're going to lead the country.
Let's rewind and hear that, because that was a very good thing he said.
I'll also tell you something I told President Trump, and I'll tell you as well, is I give him a lot of credit for doing this debate on the terms that were effectively set by Biden. Hosted by CNN in Atlanta without a live audience would be the equivalent of Joe Biden agreeing to do a Fox News hosted debate in Alabama with 3,000 live audience members. So I give Donald Trump a lot of credit for that.
For sure, because basically that'd be a hostile environment. Definitely a hostile environment. You go into Atlanta, CNN, they could control the microphones. It's a hostile environment. And the same thing for Joe Biden going to Alabama with 3,000 audience members. Man, you're going to have all kind of F Joe Bidens, let's go Brandon. You're going to have all that. You're going to have CNN sucks. You're going to have all that going on down there. All right. Because they do not like that guy at all. Again, a hostile environment for sure. So I hope that Vivek winds up being the vice president. And again, they're going to reveal the vice presidential pick. When I say they, I mean Trump's team. Trump's going to reveal the vice presidential pick during the debate on tomorrow. So hopefully we get some live breaking news right here on the show tomorrow night about who the VP is. And Vivek will be in the audience, although I don't know. I don't have any information about who the VP pick is going to be. We got to find out together tomorrow during the debate at 9 p.m. Eastern. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, do I have more that I wanted to show? Oh, yeah, Julian Assange. So, all right, sorry for the RP to the headphone users. Julian Assange is now free. And this is him walking to the airplane. Hopefully we're not on the Boeing or something crazy like that. We don't want to have no mishaps in the air. But anyway, so Julian Assange is leaving a British prison, and he's going to be going to a U.S. island territory near Australia, and then they go back home to Australia where he's from. Now, do you guys think, number one, that he will be allowed to be out? Do you think he should be out? Do you think that you should free other people? Like, what's the boy's name that became a girl? Chelsea Manning, a.k.a. Bradley Manning. Is he still locked up? And who else? Edward Snowden is, where's Edward Snowden at, right? I think Edward Snowden is in Russia, but he's not actually locked up. So how do you feel about these guys? Do you think they compromise security? Do you think that they were a national security risk? Should they be locked up in the penitentiary, making big rocks, little rocks? What's your opinion about these individuals? Let me see if I can show a statement from Mike Pence, because he said something serious. All right. Yeah. And he did not jump up the stairs. He walked up the stairs pretty well. All right. Oh, is Manning was let go a while ago? Okay. I didn't know that. I thought one of them was still. Oh, that's right. That is right. Because Manning got locked up, but then got, was it a pardon or something by Obama, or a commutation in 2021? That's right. I almost forgot about that. Let me just make sure I'm saying the right thing here. All right. And let's see. All right. Where is it at? I think it was Obama. Yeah, so Bradley was in prison from 2010 to 2017 until the sentence was commuted by Barack Obama. Okay, that's right. And then the other person was Edward Snowden. That was the more recent one. Yeah. Okay, I got a little bit confused. Shout out to you guys keeping me in check on that one. But Mike Pence put out a statement about this whole kerfuffle with Edward Snowden, with Julian Assange. Julian Assange. Let me see if I can find that right quick. Oh, here we go. So this is what Mike Pence said. Let me read it to you right quick and put it on the screen. So he says, Julian Assange endangered the lives of our troops in a time of war and should have been prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. The Biden administration's plea deal with Assange is a miscarriage of justice and dishonors the service and sacrifice of the men and women of our armed forces and their families. There should be no plea deals to avoid prison for anyone that endangers the security of our military or the national security of the United States, ever. So again, this is Mike Pence responding to Julian Assange being freed from the penitentiary. What do you guys think? Do you agree with Mike Pence? Are you saying it's because, remember, in some of the WikiLeaks files, certain names weren't redacted and put people in danger. Like I think they said the names of Afghans who helped Americans were not redacted. Maybe some Iraqis, the same thing. So do you think that Julian Assange was a national security risk and should be locked up to the absolute utmost? Or should it be free? Y'all let me know. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Oh, that's right. Something else. Julian Assange did plea bargain, so he did admit to some wrongdoing. He did admit to some wrongdoing. That did happen. So, that's kind of the unfortunate part. KK Bronson says, I agree with Pence. Uncle Thomasaurus says, have a seat, Mike. Philip Neri says, don't fully know what Assange did. Now, Julian Assange, and if you guys want to correct me or add anything to what I'm saying, you'll let me know in the comments. Julian Assange founded WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks was a place where top secret documents were getting published from the government. If you wanted to be a whistleblower and you wanted to just reveal certain things, you would go to WikiLeaks. That was your thing. Now, WikiLeaks had documents from all over the world. It was a whistleblower hub. And some documents were very sensitive to the U.S. One thing they put on WikiLeaks showed the U.S. drone striking civilians. It was a video of the U.S. drone striking civilians, including 2 reporters from Reuters. That right there might have been the one that did it. That might have been the one that put Julian Assange on the radar of the federales. Okay, you're showing stuff like that, and then you have Afghanistan documents, Iraq documents, and you're not redacting names, and some of the Afghans are getting targeted as a result. I think that was the main thing. Okay, so if I'm saying anything wrong, let me know in the comments. If you guys want to add anything, y'all let me know in the comments. All right, let me see. Cartoon says Assange is amazing. Anyone that agrees with Pence, you need to go back to bed, Grandpa. Okay. Steve Kerfuffle, great name again, by the way, says, I support Julian Assange because it's one of those cool libertarian things that gets you cred. Okay. But yeah, that's kind of what's happening. Yeah. And drone striking civilians, that's I understand war happens. I get it. I 100% understand. But at a certain point, if you're talking about civilians and if you're getting drone strikes, I just can't really, I can't buy into that. I can't buy into that. Jennifer Lopez says, I believe that once you sit down at the big table, everybody's playing with a dirty deck. Yeah, the decks are dirty at the big table. Once you get to the big table, once you get to the big time, to the big leagues, it's crazy. It's crazy. I've seen some things and heard some things, and sometimes the law is used against you. You could do something without getting locked up, depending upon who you are. If you're not in this particular group, the protected class, the protected group, prison can easily find you. I know I have friends in politics that have gotten locked up. At least one, I know I got one friend. I got people that have gotten in trouble, but one of my friends got locked up, is in fighting the prison system right now. A white lady too. Okay, so once you get to this level, race and things like that, even on the lower level, is not really an issue. But definitely on the high level, race and stuff like that, that's not even really the thing. The thing is power. The thing is, who are you with politically? Are you Democrat, Republican? Are you big, deep state, uniparty, federal government? What's going on? You with Moderna, Pfizer? What big company, what big pharma company do you represent? How much clout do you have? Who's your father? Is your father a VP of this or that? It gets like that once you get to a very high level. All right. That's part of the reason why I don't strive for political success or anything like that, because I already know kind of what time it is at that level. And that's a game that people, if you're not psychotic or just really motivated, you don't want to play that game. People that grow up that want to be politicians, in my opinion, don't understand that kind of game even exists. And then once they get in there, they realize it exists, and it kind of it's jarring. Just like Madison Cawthorn. Remember Madison Cawthorn? Madison Cawthorn was the apple of the Republican Party's eye for like a month. Okay, disabled guy, but was a Chad still. When he was not in the wheelchair, he was like 6'3" and built, looking like Michael Phelps or somebody like that. Okay, but anyway, he came out on the podcast talking about I got invited to a sex party, all this, that, and the third by my colleagues in DC. After that, he was done. They pushed a button and he was done. You didn't see him anymore after that. He was finished, toast, kaput. That's how they do. That's how they do. On the federal, man, please. Federal government, forget about it. Forget about it. Government sucks, 100%. The federales are terrible. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. I'm going to get to some supers here, and then we're going to get to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Oh, the case, West Virginia about the slavery couple. I'm going to cover that right quick. Hold on. I got to cover that right quick because that was crazy. I was seeing some of the craziest comments on that one, talking about something, it's just farm work. It's like, really? Listen, if you get locked in the barn outside, you're not allowed to come inside and you're being forced to work, that's called slavery at a certain point. Look, you're outside in the barn, no running water, no shoes on your feet. You're forced to work. You're not allowed to come inside the home. Like, what is that? What do we call that exactly? That's exactly the way that it was back in the day. So you have this couple from Washington State. They adopt black children specifically by race. They adopt them in Washington State and traffic them to West Virginia. That's where the trafficking charge came from. If you take someone from one place to another for the purpose of exploiting their labor, forced labor, things of this nature, that's called trafficking. That's what's happening with the migrants, where they're being taken from one country to another. Okay, you're human trafficking. That's what they did to these kids. And they have crazy bail amounts, $500,000. Let me play it right quick. All right, we got some sound.
Lance came in on their own.
And RP to the headphone user. Sorry for that.
Jeannie Whitefeather and Donald Lance came in on their own for their arraignments, but left in cuffs after Judge Mary Claire Akers set their bonds at $500,000, more than double what they had already paid.
And I don't think I've ever seen an indictment like this in all of my time. It alleges human trafficking, human rights violations, the use of forced labor, human rights violations specific to the fact that these children were targeted because of their race. and their use as basically slaves from what the indictment alleges, along with human trafficking and neglect with serious risk of bodily injury or death, I don't find the bond to be sufficient.
So now let's talk a little bit more. They were locked in the barn outside, no running water. They had a porta potty out there in the barn, I suppose, no shoes, and they were forced to work and they couldn't go inside the house. That's quite literally slavery. And what happened, the reason why they got caught is because their neighbors saw that you had these two black teenagers locked up in the shed outside, or in a barn, whatever they want to call it, a glorified shed. So the neighbor like, yo, you can't, like, what's going on? So then the police came and found out what was happening. You got a house of horrors, and now they are, about to go to prison. This reminded me of Ruby Frankie. Remember her from the Mommy blog in Utah? Very similar situation. In this situation, you have a couple that adopted like 5 black kids, or at least 3 of the 5, but they adopted these black kids from Washington State, where they're originally from, and then they trafficked them to West Virginia. And my neck of the woods, y'all know where I'm from. This is Sissonville, which is right away from Charleston. I was born in Charleston. Sissonville is like a suburb of Charleston, basically. That's kind of what that is. If you ever seen that show called Buck Wild on MTV, they filmed that in Sissonville. It's right there. I never heard about anything like this happening. This is not a common thing. Black folks, we get along West Virginia. Black folks and white folks, we get along perfectly fine. It's not this racism thing that goes on. It's not quite like that. It's cool. It's straight. Okay. This is a couple from Washington State that did this in West Virginia and got caught out there. Now, I'm glad that they got caught in West Virginia, because if they got caught in Washington State, it might not really be a big deal. Okay, it might not be a big deal at all.
Whitefeather and Lance were first arrested last October when a welfare check turned into the discovery of 2 teens apparently locked in a shed where investigators said they lived in deplorable conditions behind the Sissonville home. One other kid was found inside the house and 2 others were not home, all adopted by the couple. The indictment brought more than a dozen new charges against them, alleging human trafficking and forced labor, also civil rights violations, as investigators believe they targeted these children specifically from a shelter because they were black.
Now, everybody involved are from Washington State. The couple, Washington State. The children that they trafficked, quote unquote, adopted, Washington State.
Forcing them to work as slaves. Whitefeather and Lance were originally in Washington State, and it is alleged they brought the children with them to Sissonville when they moved.
Counts 9 through 12 allege the use of forced labor, which I read as slavery.
Bond was initially set at $200,000 cash, and they were both able to post it. Prosecutors have said in a new complaint for forfeiture, the couple sold a $725,000 80-acre ranch in Washington State and sold their Sissonville home to post bond. And they believe both of these properties were paid for through trafficking. That will be decided in a separate court matter, but because of this, prosecutors say they found discrepancies in the financial affidavit Lance filled out for a court-appointed attorney, leading to a new charge on his indictment.
Some of the information on his face is inaccurate.
Lance had to fill out a new affidavit today as the 2 were taken back into custody.
That's what's happening out there in West Virginia. You got this couple from Washington State getting locked up for human trafficking, basically adopting, quote unquote, adopting black kids to use as slaves. Yeah. And like I said, it reminds me of Ruby Frankie, the mommy vlogger, who did the same thing, locking their kids up outside, denying them food and water as punishment, and then also kind of engaging in a form of trafficking because she made money on them. She had a mommy blog and had the kids in the videos, emaciated halfway, but she made money off of them, had a podcast, made money off of that. And her partner in crime, the other lady, they had a podcast. They were trying to coach parents on how to raise kids, all of that. And they were using these kids that had locked up in the back, bound up, taped up, and starving and thirsty to do it. It's the very same thing. And I'm glad Ruby Frankie and her accomplice are going to go to the penitentiary to make big rocks, little rocks. Same thing for them right there. Anybody that messes with kids, I have a zero tolerance policy, man. Like some things, when you're dealing with adults, it's bad enough. I'm not saying that if you're an adult, it's okay to commit crime against you. Not at all. But when you are messing with kids, see, now you're in a whole different element. You're talking about wood chipper activities. You're talking about seriously need to get the lethal injection type situation. Yeah, again, if I could be the king ruled by fiat, you engage with crime with children, that's an automatic. Yeah, we're gonna put you in the gallows right away. Guillotine. Your head gonna be like right. You're gonna have this big dude with a hood on, okay, all black on, looking like Kanye, a fashion show from Kanye, all black with a hood, pulling the big string. It's gonna be like a butter going through knife, just boom. Your head gonna be off your shoulders. If we have proof, undeniable proof, that you got a crime with kids, off with your head, old school style. That's what I say. Because some things, man, like we can't have that kind of stuff, man. Kids got to be kids. They got to be allowed to be innocent and allowed to grow up without adults trifling with them and doing whatever they want to them. Yeah, nah, that ain't gonna be how we go about it. Alrighty. Now let's keep on rocking. We got super chats to get into. Then we got calls to get into. The number to call 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Yeah, butter going through a knife. That's right. Shout out to the butter going through the knife. All right, and let's go to the supers here. Thinking of Life with Sean, who says, remember when Biden said he saved us 15 cents 4th of July? I remember. That was crazy. If I could find that graphic, that was nuts. Wait just 1 minute. Hold on. Yeah, that was nuts. It's like, man, why would you even mention this completely petty thing? Like, what is going on? Hold on. Yeah, I ain't gonna be able to find it, but if I do find it, I'm gonna throw it on the screen because that was nuts. That was totally nuts. All right, let me keep on going here. Shout out to David Wan, who says, FYI, TrumpBurgum.com is only known 45 plus VP combination that redirects 45 official site. Can't wait for tomorrow night's debate between 45 and 46. Doug Burgum, I mean, I guess I'll take him, but that's kind of anticlimactic if it's Doug Burgum. Yeah, I'm not really. That's like eating a Happy Meal and you don't get a toy at the end. It's like, I'll eat the meal. That I enjoyed the French fries and the hamburger, but where's the toy at the end? It's kind of anticlimactic. Thank you to Matthew Richardson, who says Elder will be the best VP, Vivek for Secretary of State. I like Larry Elder, but Larry Elder's old too. Larry Elder's got to be about 75 years old. How old is he? Oh, 72 years old. Okay. Yeah, so he might be a little bit elder. He might be a little bit up there in age to be a VP, in my opinion. Thank you to Matthew Richardson, already read. Oh, he says Joel Searby of Lincoln Project just arrested. For what? For touching kids like the same way they had been doing before? Hold on. Let me see. I don't see anything about it on the news. Hold on. Let me see. The Alachua County Sheriff's Office continues to investigate the case of Archer resident and Newberry education activist Joel Searby after a judge denied him bond in a pretrial hearing. He was arrested last week for lewd and lascivious behavior, obscene communication to lure a minor. Of course. How did I know that? Before you even said any of the crimes that he had been charged with, I already knew. So is it him? Is this the guy? Is this the guy from Lincoln Project? Yeah. And he was, it says the arrest report recounts Snapchat conversations between Searby and a 15-year-old boy in which Searby solicited the victim for photos and sexual acts. Of course. That's what I'm saying, man. People like this, man, wood chipper, man. We don't got time to be trying to go through all the trial and go through all this court rigmarole. Just auto feed, man, like a pizza in the oven on a conveyor belt. Just get chipped up. Mulch activity at best. Anyway, so is that the guy from Lincoln Project? Hold on, let me make sure I'm saying the right thing here, Matt. I don't want to, you know what I mean? Let's see. So it just says he's a member of Newbury Education First Board. So it's like a school guy. Yeah, that's what they're saying. That's what I see. But he's also a friend of Rick Wilson. Okay. And Rick Wilson from Lincoln Project. So Rick Wilson put out a tweet. It's 5:35 a.m. and the dogs are chasing deer around their property. Also, Steve Bannon goes to jail in 9 days, and felon Donnie gets sentenced in 3 weeks. And then this person, Callie, says, and another one of your buddies, Joel Serby, is arrested for being a PDF file. I'd rather be on Donald Trump and Steve Bannon's team all day, every day, than to be associated with the list of PDF files you and your Project Lincoln surround yourself with. You sick F you know the rest. And there's a chomo on the left and a chomo on the right as well. But the left guy is one that just got arrested. All right. So yeah, you know what they say, birds of a feather flock together. Let's keep on going. Thank you to Tony Hay Munkits, who says, I thought when we won 16, we would all be good. Hey man, you know, I knew that we wouldn't be good. I knew it wouldn't be over in 2016. I knew it was going to be just the beginning because of how fierce the fight was in 16. I knew it was going to be a constant battle. A constant battle. Thank you to Matt again, who says Biden has a debate questions already, no doubt. Of course. Thank you to All Natural, who says, can someone please advise President Trump, to not eat or drink anything from that debate? Why is he going there anyway? Good question. All Natural also says, where will President Trump's Secret Service be when he is wasting time, energy, and safety during debating Joe Biden? They're going to be in the building. They'll be there next to him. Thank you to Jonathan Villafane. I know I'll tear your name up, and I'm sorry. Jonathan, we'll just say Jonathan, who says, ABL, will you be at the Democratic convention? Will I be at the convention? No. But I'll sure cover it. But I'm not going to be at the actual convention. I don't go to any political events for the most part, unless it's like close by. It's a waste of time, in my opinion. It doesn't benefit you guys, and it doesn't benefit me. So I'm just sitting there thinking, like, why am I even here? You know, why am I here? Why do this? You know, I've been invited to stuff. Oh, come to this thing and do this, and then it's not a financial thing. They're not trying to pay. It just invite me to be there, like as part of the crowd. I'm like, for what? You know, I got to be up here making videos. I got to be up here doing these live streams. I'd rather would do that than to go to a political event where I'm not speaking, where I'm not anything other than an invitee. It doesn't make any sense. Shout out to Vincent Williams for the donation. I appreciate you, boss, with the thank you, bound emoji. I appreciate you for that one. All righty. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. The number to call, I know I'm getting late in the show. I know I'm getting long-winded. Pause. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. And the NBA draft is happening right now. I wonder if the Lakers are going to draft LeBron James' son. And if they don't draft him, nobody else will, because LeBron James' son, Bronny, sucks. The only reason why he would be drafted is because he's LeBron James' son on the Lakers, and that's it. But let me keep on going. And let's look at the sound fix right quick before we get to the calls, if I'm able to do that. All right, that should work right there. That should work. 310, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
What's up, ABL? It's Drew from California. Just a quick question. I know you're, healthy eater and everything. Talked to you about that before. Do you grow any vegetables?
That's a very good question because I don't grow vegetables right now, but I've been thinking about it. My next door neighbors, they're Indian. They grow a lot of stuff in the backyard. And I've been kind of like observing them like, okay, I can do that. I built a planter before for a friend of mine, and it was pretty easy. So I'm like, okay, I can build a planter the same way I did before. I have space out in my backyard. I can really grow some things. So I don't grow food right now, but I'm looking into doing that very soon.
All right. I used to live up at my parents had 25 acres up in the mountains, lived up there for 7 years, did turkeys, chickens, did one pig. Anyway, long story short, when you start, just start with good dirt, all right? And then you could supplement or mix after that to condition the dirt. Anyway, I'm just saying, where you're living, you should be growing everything, dude. I don't know why you're not. I know you're busy, but I would just highly suggest that, and it's a de-stressor. You're out there every day or every other day taking care of them. And then ABL, it's going to be the best vegetables you've ever had, the ones you grow your own. Anyway, have a good rest of your show. I was just very curious about that, and I'll leave you be. Have a good one.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. That's a very good call because I have been looking at doing that. So I will be doing that soon. All right, man. What's going on?
Anthony, what's good, man?
Everything's good. Can't complain.
Excellent. Can we just admit something, though? Like, all those crazy judges and prosecutors, all those black communist lesbians that are getting arrested out at the club, they're kind of hot. They all got that crazy going on, and they all kind of look good. They just need a man to kind of settle them down, I think.
Hey, you know what? I've seen that kind of look over and over and over. I already know what comes with it, so I'm good. I'm not going to fall for the bait.
Well, they're kind of like the final boss in that, you know what I mean? The game of madness. You gotta, if you want to be good at a game, and you got to take one of those on. Yeah, even Fannie Willis is looking good to me for some reason. I can't explain it. So Daniel Ellsberg's dying wish was that Julian Assange should get pardoned. And Daniel Ellsberg released the Pentagon Papers from the Rand Corporation that basically exposed that the whole Vietnam War was based on a lie, the premise, the Gulf of Tonkin, all that kind of stuff. So Ellsberg broke the law for sure, and but what ends up happening? Yes, Julian Assange should be prosecuted, but in that prosecution, there's going to be a public good evaluation made in that case. So yeah, they broke the law, and in that collateral murder where they were detailing war crimes like double tapping, like which is where they wait for like ambulances and people to come and help people that got caught up in a bomb strike, and then they hit them too. You know what I mean? To take out the medical infrastructure and medical personnel. So, but they were trying to get Julian Assange on, having sex with a woman who conceded to sex, but the condom fell off and he kept going. So they contrived this whole rape thing, and he would have never gotten a fair trial. They would have disappeared him, and and some of the stuff that's in the DNC emails. I mean, there's obviously, you were making an argument of that maybe he didn't curate and redact things properly. I think a lot of that's been run to ground, and that's not even what he's been charged with, ironically. What do you think?
Well, I just think that the main thing is that they didn't want to put out what he put out. So the specific charges are kind of irrelevant in my opinion, because it's all about the action, and the specific charge is just a way to try to get him out of the way.
Try to get him out of the way. That Manning was a goofball, though. I'll tell you that. That Bradley Manning. If he was in my troop, I mean, we would have sniffed him out and isolated him and make sure he didn't access the documents. I mean, if anything, Bradley Manning is the fact that he got leaked is public good as well, because you don't want people like that to be around our national secrets and that kind of stuff. But yeah, Elder. So I'll leave you with this. Whoever the VP is has to be a Trump assassination safety net. Whoever the VP is has to be someone that's not. So a lot of VPs get picked because they don't have any charisma. And a lot of people look at Biden and saying, oh, you picked Kamala Harris. That's the dumbest thing you ever. No, nobody wants Kamala Harris as vice president. She's not going to be able to build any cohesiveness. So Joe Biden picked somebody that no one would cooperate with to get rid of Joe Biden. Trump needs to do the same thing, but in a different way. So the reason why Larry Elder, no one would ever want him president. He's very good as a spokesman, and he'd be good in the Senate. You don't want to get rid of a Senate when we don't have them. So any senator, I wouldn't say make them a VP. We need as many senators as we can get. And then Vivek, I think, really, when it comes down to it, I think he's finally convincing people the Secretary of State is effectively the president. And, they call the shots when it comes to foreign policy, hiring and firing, all that kind of stuff. And Trump can just do his spokesman stuff, and Vivek can lay off all the CIA and the FBI. So that's all I got for that.
Right on, man. Well, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
I'm at the Old Country Buffet, by the way.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what that was. I didn't recognize it in the background.
I did this for you, just for you. I wore this ridiculous suit just for you. I'm hearkening to the my cousin Vinny. Okay.
I see.
All right. Take it easy, man.
All right, now. All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. I got a little bit of white balance issue right here on my camera. Okay, let's get that. Shout out to my camera doing whatever he wants to do with the white balance. Let's keep on going. Let's go to 859. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 859. Hello. I think my Skype is messing up. Yeah, I think Skype messed up. So hopefully Skype's not messing up. If it is, I have to restart. 470. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to? Okay, yeah, Skype messing up. Oh my goodness, come on, Microsoft, you got one job, just to make sure Skype works properly. I got to restart Skype right quick. Y'all, please hold on, and now I'm gonna come right back to the calls. Okay, so I fixed my white balance. I don't have that yellow smoker's tint on the back of my walls anymore from the white balance being messed up. But now I got to get Skype back rocking and rolling, and hopefully we can do that easily and get right back in the mix. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. All right, let's try that one more time. 859, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Sorry. Hey, ABL, how's it going? Your Luciferian Libertarian friend. And I'm happy. I am excited they're letting my homeboy out of jail, man. Julian Assange, man, the main man of freedom of speech, the man who fought against the machine. I'm excited, but I hope he doesn't get clapped when he gets out. So cross my fingers. And I understand what he did was illegal, but my question is, if you do the crime, you should do the time. He did his time. My question is also, why the people that he exposed are not behind bars? Why they're not stationed having their time? Why I pay money in my taxes to the law to do their job, and they're not doing it when those guys get away with murder, get away with killing, and getting away with killing journalists and drone striking them in a foreign country. That is completely wrong. And why is this administration getting away with murder like this? It's the injustice of our system. And it's ridiculous. And my question is, what's your opinion about the future?
About the future?
Yes, about Julian Assange. Do you think there's going to be more whistleblowers? Do you think this is going to be more encouraged? Or do you think he might get clapped or assassinated? Just out of curiosity, what's your opinion?
I think he'll be fine. He probably won't get deleted. He's been alive this long without getting deleted, so I think he'll be okay in Australia. But as far as whistleblowers, we're going to have a lot more. We see the whole Boeing situation happening, so I think there's going to be more of those individuals, and I hope there is for sure.
Oh, I mean, to be honest with you, the most I think Edward Snowden said it himself. The most patriotic thing in the world is speaking out against the authority that we have. Our founding fathers that's the whole purpose of, the First Amendment rights, Second Amendment rights, to basically reform the country. If our government is holding secrets against us that is like that are crimes out of our tax money, that's not right. That's our money paying for somebody else's death. And I'm not for that. I'm an anarchist. I'm completely against government. But if I have to live in this country, I want my taxpayer money to be in good use, at least,
I hear you 100%.
Right on, man. Hey, I enjoy the show, man. Talk to you later. Hey, Luciferian Libertarian out. I'm going to hit another hit. I'll talk to you guys later. 420. See you guys later. Bye.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Tell me out tremendously. Let's keep on going to 215 in the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, I'm surprised. This is my first time calling for the night. You picked up immediately.
Hey man, you got good luck.
Yeah, right. Hey ABL, I was talking to one of my coworkers today, right? And she said, basically, anti-Trump, and she said I would never vote for Trump. If any of my kids ever voted for Trump, I would disown them. I would disown the hell out of them. Trump tried to kill us and all that stuff. I said, you sure? And I asked her, did he literally try to kill us? And she backtracked. She was like, oh, of course, not literally. I was like, oh, okay. Because I was about to say he was already in office for 4 years straight, so he would have been did that. So she didn't. I was waiting for her to go there and say he would literally try to kill us. I was like, uh-huh. I was waiting, but I'll give it to her this. So I was listening to her rant about Donald Trump. I said, okay. How she would disown her kids, and I was like, so I wanted to say, I said to her, family, you gotta love your family. You gotta love family unconditionally, no matter what. That's your family, regardless of who they voted for. But I like the one thing she said, though. The reason why I brought this up, because the one thing she said, though, she said, honestly, I'm more worried about the drug dealers in our neighborhood than Donald Trump killing us, because I know literally he's not going to kill us. I'm more worried about the drug dealers in our neighborhoods and the criminals. They'll definitely kill us.
Exactly. I'm glad that she's able to kind of understand that. That's the bigger issue here.
I'm sorry, my fault. The wind was blowing. What'd you say, ABL?
We got some noise in the background. What's happening?
Oh, hold up. All right, I'm listening. Go ahead.
So I think that it's good that she's able to understand that where the bigger danger is not from Trump, obviously. I mean, you got clear and present danger happening right in front of your face with the drug dealers.
Yep. And she said, it's really, I just don't like his politics, which I can respect her for saying it. I mean, I respect people's political beliefs regardless, if they disagree or not. It's like everybody's got their own opinion, beliefs. I thought it was funny when she said that. I was like, yep, that definitely is true. Because that's one thing we both agreed on.
Right, absolutely.
And another thing, we was talking about the January 6th, and they said it was how they were saying it was a riot, how Trump caused the riot of January 6th. I remember we were talking about that when I brought up the fact that the mainstream media, I said they tried to hype it up and say it was just as bad as 9/11. That's one thing we all agreed on. They was like, oh no. They said, yeah, no, it wasn't that bad.
Nah, it was not
like 9/11. You can't come.
Yeah, it's just going over. It's going way over the top and going crazy.
Yeah, even when most of the Trump hating people at my job, the people who don't like Trump, even they said the exact same thing. They said, yeah, you can't compare the two. Because 9/11, the World Trade Centers came down,
right,
and that affected like every race of people, Americans and all.
Absolutely.
And honestly, what was one more thing I was about to hit? Yeah, I was like a lot of people in this community. Like I told you this before, a lot of people in our community, like I said, the ones that hate Trump, they're not going to ignore the fact that we black people, we gotta watch out for each other. Like the people in our own community, like we the worst enemies of each other. And like basically they like, I'm more worried about these youngins these youngins out here killing people and all that stuff. I'm not worried about white people. Mind you, these are all people that hate Trump and still think, that they're oppressed, but they're not going to lie about the fact that, oh no, these young people out here, they out here killing. I don't trust none of these youngins. I hear them talking all the time. They say, like, we always drag each other down. Black people always dragging each other down. When we ever gonna pick ourselves up? I was like, yep. Yeah, I was like, yep. At least they're not blind to what's going on in the community. And they understand that there's a lot of crime in the community. They say, oh no, we got to get it together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but thanks for taking my call, ABL. One more thing, ABL. I always want to ask your opinion about this. What do you think about do you think that 9/11? A lot of people say 9/11 was staged. What do you think about that?
Well, it wasn't staged, but the story that we're being told is not 100% accurate.
Yeah, not staged, but where they feel like the government had some involvement in it. The U.S. government had some involvement in 9/11.
I mean, I don't know who is involved. I don't know if it was the government, but the official story is not true. I'll leave it there.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, because I'm sorry, I will never believe the fact that somebody's going to hijack an entire plane with just box cutters, because that's what they tried to sell. I was like, nah. Now, if they had assault rifles, AK-47s, I'm sorry, rifles and AK-47s and guns that hijack a plane, yeah, I can believe that. But box cutters, I don't know who came up with that story.
I mean, that could have happened, but what could not have happened is the story about how the towers fell. That is if you want to tell me, okay, they got hijacked with box cutters, okay, maybe I can buy that. But then you want to tell me that you have this beautiful demolition of a building with no plane to hit it, okay, whatever.
Yeah, and I watched how the towers fell. It looked like bombs blew up, and they just came down. Yeah, of course you saw how the buildings blew up. Just the bombs, like something blew up at the bottom, but where the plane hit at, under where the plane had hit at.
Right.
All right, but thanks for taking my call, ABL.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, have a good one.
Same to you. All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And if you guys enjoyed what you are hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff that help me out tremendously. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. And you guys are the best. And for you guys who are coming in just now or recently, I will be streaming on tomorrow the debate. We will be watching it here. Somehow, some way, we're going to watch it. 205, hit online. Who am I speaking to?
Hello. Hey, Anthony, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm so good, Anthony. I finally got back on here. I ain't talked to you in a month of Sundays, Anthony.
Yeah, it's been a while.
The last time I spoke to you, Donald Trump was a free man, Anthony.
Well, he's still free.
Not for long.
So you think he is he going to prison in your opinion?
I don't know, Anthony. Maybe he is, maybe he ain't. But I know I'm going to be watching him tomorrow in that debate because it's going to be good, Anthony. Are you going to watch it, Anthony?
Absolutely.
It's going to be like Alabama versus Auburn, Anthony. It's going to be like Dallas versus the San Francisco 49ers, Anthony. The Army versus the Navy. My favorite branch. But anywho, Anthony, how you been, Anthony?
Everything's all right. Can't complain at all.
I see your nice salt and pepper beard just growing. Anthony, you look so nice, Anthony.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. We could just, we don't got to do too much now.
But anywho, Anthony. But what your man gonna do tomorrow, Anthony? Is he gonna come in there and show out? Because he's supposed to be the red team.
He'll do great. I don't think Biden's going to do well at all. So Trump's going to do great as always, and Biden's going to be looking crazy as always. So I think it'd be a good performance from Trump.
Well, I hope Biden remember to be there, but anywho, it's gonna be good, Anthony. I'm sure waiting to see it. I sure want to see it because for some reason, I don't know if Trump gonna do good. If he get out there crazy, you know how he is, with that orange man and that orange hair, I don't know, Anthony.
Nah, he'll be all right. Everything will be just fine.
And what's wrong with these migrants out here, Anthony? These folks that's coming over here visiting from everywhere, Anthony. Why they out here raping and killing women, Anthony?
Because you got a bunch of criminals coming over. I think some of these countries have freed their prisons and then sent them over here. So that's what's happening. You getting straight up criminals in the streets just being criminals.
Well, I told you what happened to me, Anthony. I was walking in the park in Atlanta, and they caught me, Anthony, and they caught me in the bathroom, Anthony, and they did some things to me, but I gave them my phone number and told them to call me, and I come back and walk in that park again. Anyway, Anthony.
I bet you would.
Whatever, Anthony. But anywho, Anthony, I don't want to hold you up. I just want to say, hey, Anthony, why you ain't got your MAGA hat on, Anthony?
I have my own hats.
Well, you got to have your red MAGA hat on, Anthony, tomorrow. I know you're going to do a live stream because I'm going to be watching you. If I can't get CNN, the number one person I call or go to is my Anthony. And I hope you have your MAGA hat on because you know what MAGA mean to me, Anthony.
What does it mean?
It's June. It's Gay Pride Month, Anthony. So MAGA stands for Making Atlanta Gay Again, Anthony.
Oh, boy.
But anywho, Anthony, I'm finna go, Anthony.
All right. Thank you for the call. I appreciate you.
Bye, Anthony.
Yo, shout out to that troll caller. I've not heard from that individual in quite a while. I've not heard from that ma'am in a minute. So shout out to whoever that is. Yeah, this is the show's it's already off the rails. It's off the rails. Let's keep on going. 470, you don't lie. Who am I speaking to?
I've not heard from that individual. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts.
Hey, Anthony. Hey, this is Greg from Wild and Wacky Atlanta, where anything can happen at any time. How are you doing, sir?
Everything's all good. About yourself?
Well, good. I haven't been on the show in about 4 or 5 weeks now, so I really missed it. So anyway, I'm really pumped up about the debate tomorrow night. And I think Biden's going to smoke Trump's ass. You know it.
Biden's going to be looking crazy out there on the stage. I can't wait.
Oh, they're going to pump him up full of so many drugs. He's going to be high on adrenaline and everything else, probably LSD too, to make him make sense for a change. But anyway, yeah, I'm really excited about it. I didn't know until you mentioned this about 30 or 40 minutes ago that CNN's going to be hosting the debate.
Yes.
Oh my God! Hey, no bias there.
Right? Exactly.
Trump on the Trump hating network. Imagine that! Wow, it won't be any more biased than it was last time around with Samantha Guthrie back in October 2020. So I think he did very well. The first debate he didn't do so well. The second one he did very well. And sure, Trump did interrupt Biden maybe 4 or 5 times, but Biden turned around. He said Trump told him to shut up. Any good debater, you never tell your opponent to shut up. You beat them with intellectual arguments and intelligence. You don't just say, "Oh, shut up." I mean, that's just stupid and intellectually lazy. Hey, I would like to play something for you, if you don't mind. It's a soundbite from late February of 2015. Most people who support Biden, and even a lot of Trump supporters, probably don't know this, but Biden said in late 2015 that white people are going to be a minority by 2017. He talks about the border. And on his left, you see Andre Hayo, whatever his name is, Mayorkas, the one that lets the border stay open but lies about it. Can I play it for you real quick?
Go ahead.
All right, listen to this. You're going to be shocked.
Not only our Muslim communities, but African communities, Asian communities, Hispanic communities, and the wave still continues. It's not going to stop, nor should we want it to stop. As a matter of fact, it's one of the things I think we can be most proud of. So there's a second thing in that black box. an unrelenting stream of immigration, nonstop. Folks like me who were Caucasian of European descent, for the first time in 2017, will be in an absolute minority in the United States of America. Absolute minority. Fewer than 50% of the people in America from then and on will be white European stock. That's not a bad thing. That's a source of our strength. And so
there you have it. Biden is a white guiltist. He hates the white race. He feels guilty for slavery and everything else. Well, his party started that shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to curse, but they're the ones responsible for all the Jim Crow laws, KKK, all that stuff, slavery, you name it.
Of course. I feel like Biden just pretty much says whatever he needs to say, whatever he's being told to say.
Well, of course he wants to get votes, but it's not just about that. It's every non-white and every white Democrat feels that way about white people, especially the last 8, 9, 10 years. Really more so under Obama is when it started back in 2008, but especially the past 8 years since 2016. Everything's about race with these people because the Democrats are racist. That's why they're so race obsessed, like the Nazis were, who are also socialists, but hey, go figure. I just thought people might like to hear that. It's just disgusting. I don't want to see any race get bred out of existence, you know?
Right.
But it's just sick, you know? There you have it. So the Trump supporters and the MAGA movement's not about race, because if it was, you know, you wouldn't have millions and millions of non-white people that were following the MAGA movement, want to be a part of it. It's about the America movement. That's what it's about. Anyway, that's all I pretty much have to say. And except for one last thing, I'm still ultra MAGA, Trump 2024, and we have 132 days until we beat the Democrats and kick Joe Biden off his throne. All right, man, you take care. Have a good time. Be safe when you come down to Atlanta, and I will talk to you next time.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you, man. Take care. Bye.
All right, great call. Shots one, man, for the call. Most certainly appreciate it. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Let's go to 504 online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. It's Alien Spaceship.
All right, man. What's going on?
All right. So, very good show. I've enjoyed it very much. It's been a while since I've been on here. And my garden is doing well, and I've been harvesting sunflower seeds. And I do recommend you also do it. It's very fun.
I definitely will. I kind of like spoke to me the other day when I saw my neighbors, because I've seen their garden grow, and I'm kind of getting envious. So I really want to do something like that myself.
Yeah. Also, a natural pest repellent is mint, by the way.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So I think that it's, you know, as I was watching something else of a little bit earlier, and like the year's almost half over, and you know, we're about to see the debate between Trump and Biden, and you know, time flies by, and I think that, you know, Trump is going to do excellent, and you know, Biden looks even worse than he did before, and CNN, we'll see if they're going to be biased or not, but like Trump either way is going to have great success, in my opinion.
Oh, definitely, absolutely, because Trump is a good speaker. He's engaging. He knows the information. He's going to do well regardless. And Biden, by contrast, is not going to do well because he can barely put two words together. So anybody that has that kind of thing going on is not going to perform well.
Right. And also trying to compare Trump to Hitler is another thing that's cringe. And, you know, two completely different people. Trump is nothing like that. And, you know, Trump is just saying he wants to protect the sovereignty of his country, like in Japan, say, or some other country. They wouldn't want a bunch of people that are going over there to do nefarious things. And I think in every country that's civilized, you would have to go through regulation stuff to be a citizenship there. And, you know, they're just doing that to try to get people roused up to be against him.
Absolutely.
Right. And another thing, I don't understand why Biden thinks it would be, you know, a good thing if there's less white people or not. I don't know what's with all this racial stuff they're trying to push, because we're all just people at the end of the day. I mean, it doesn't really matter. And I think that's another thing they're trying to do. And that just shows that they're really far left, very radicalized.
Yeah, definitely. All the mentioning of race would normally, under better circumstances, be considered racism, but somehow they're able to escape that accusation.
Exactly. I know. It's like there's an exception. It doesn't make any sense at all. And also, all that I've seen is that some people that are radicalized, all the left is doing, it has brought up the possibility of some individuals becoming more racist, possibly by all the stuff they're putting in the media. Like, say, young people growing up that might see that, and it'll cause a resentment. And I think that, they're causing more division than what they're doing, the opposite of what they're saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And also, I would look forward to, if Trump gets back in, which I believe he will, I would look forward to that and him restoring the country. And that I believe that I saw an interview with him, he did recently, and that he would make peace and like these different conflicts we're in and stuff like that. And that would be great, for that day to come.
Right on. 100% correct.
All right. Okay, ABL, that's all to say for this call. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right. Great call. Shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And shout out to you guys. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, Skype caller, who am I speaking to?
Oh, hello, ABL.
Yes, sir.
Hey, mate, it's Danny. How you been, mate?
It's been all good, man. How about yourself?
Yeah, really good, thanks. It's been a minute. But yeah, great show tonight, and yeah, amazing calls so far, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah, so about that Trump debate tomorrow. So yeah, I'm definitely going to tune into your show tomorrow to watch it for sure. I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to the debate, but kind of not at the same time, if you know what I mean. I mean, obviously because where it's been held, and obviously the clear bias that's going to happen. And well, do you think Trump has his tactics sort of laid out already? Like, do you think he knows how he's gonna? Or do you think he's gonna sort of go with the flow? If you know what I mean. I mean, because I feel like obviously, Biden's probably going to bring up, the charges and whatnot. I mean, right? He's probably going to try and embarrass him. So, I mean, do you think Trump should just ignore those ignore it and just be professional, just stick to the actual policies that he's trying to push and just be, civil? Or do you think he should get dirty too? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, the charges will get brought up, and that's fine. He can just say the same thing he's been saying, which is that it's a witch hunt. It's politically motivated. He can even bring up people like Andrew Cuomo, who has said publicly that he would not have brought those charges, and he was the Attorney General of New York and a very confirmed leftist person. So he could easily fight back against a lot of the accusations and things that Biden's going to say. And in a debate, at a certain point, you have to be able to defend yourself. You can't just let the other person say things without responding.
Yeah, no, definitely. I totally agree. I mean, personally, I think he should just fight fire with fire and just say, "Oh, how's Hunter doing?" Has his tax charges and his, gun charges and all this stuff doing, and just bring up all that stuff. I mean, if he wants to get nasty, then I think he should be able to get nasty back. But I mean, but what else does Biden really have apart from, bringing up that? I mean, I don't know what other ammunition he has against Trump. I mean, he's clearly, running your country into the ground. I mean, I don't know what else he can exactly bring up. I mean, clearly the host and all the others are going to try and, make Biden look good, right? I mean, that's obvious, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. I don't think they have anything else, really. They don't really have too much. They're going to just try to go with some of the same old talking points, the MAGA Republicans, extremists, racists, the same old thing. And really, the main thing for Biden will be just to stay upright, to not fall over, to not just collapse right there on the actual debate stage. That'd be his primary focus, in my opinion.
Yeah, you know what? That's what shocked me the most. I'm like, how does he still do it? Like, how is he even going to make this debate? I mean, I don't know who his drug dealer is. I mean, maybe his son's got him on some sort of special blend. I don't know.
Hey, I can't call it. It's got to be something going on.
Yeah, I mean, mate, I just don't know what's keeping him upright, man. I mean, sometimes I look at this guy and you kind of feel sorry for him a little bit, but at the same time I don't, because he's scum. I mean, not to be rude, but him and his ilk and the Democratic Party is scum. So it is what it is. But yeah, before I go, Bill, can I quickly just mention something? Did you know about last year? Apparently, London had more murders than New York City. Did you hear about that?
I think I remember that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so apparently we overtook New York in homicides or murders, and that's simply just from knife crime. And I mean, in New York, I mean, you got criminals running around with guns, right? I mean, Glocks with switches, right?
Yeah.
And that's what's crazy. I mean, I thought guns were the were more superior than knives, but I guess not, right? And our mayor Sadiq Khan come out with a tweet recently saying no one should even be allowed to carry a knife on them, not even the legal limit of like a 3-inch pocket knife. He said no one should even be allowed to carry that. And you're like, why are you pointing the finger at people like me and people who just want to carry a little something on them just for self-defense reasons, just to protect themselves in a self-defense scenario? Like all these murders are not happening from people who are carrying around little pocket knives. They're happening with people carrying around machetes and zombie knives. And this is the mayor who's recently come out and tweeted saying that our cab drivers, our taxi drivers over here are not allowed to fly the England flag in their taxi car anymore.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's totally nuts. And the whole thing with knife crime, if you're gonna try to have people try to take that away from you, say you can't carry it, it's like, how can you really control that? Because you can conceal it, nobody knows you have it, and you can't wave a magic wand to bring back all the knives. It's the same thing with guns in this country, in the United States, which is why we can carry guns concealed without a permit here in my state, because the criminals already have them. So to try to control law-abiding people will do nothing for the criminals. They're still going to have what they have. So it's just kind of a dumb policy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I've been trying to tell my friends, my family. I'm like, Sadiq Khan, you come out of all these things, you say all this stuff, but how you can enforce it? There's no police on the street. I mean, he come out with this ban with the XL bullies, where the dog should be, on the lead at all times, muzzled on all times. But I've never seen an XL bully with a muzzle on. It's like, you can come up with all these laws, but how you can enforce it? And again, you point the finger at the likes of people like me and you for good law-abiding citizens who don't do anything. We didn't do it. We're not doing anything. And it's the same old stuff. I mean, this man hates the country, and he clearly cares about illegals more, and I'll just say other religious groups more than your own patriotic citizens that you have already living in the country. And it's disgusting.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, and sorry, Ava, do I have 1 more minute, or am I done? Sorry, I don't want to be rude.
Go ahead, you got time.
All right, yeah. So my 5-year-old nephew come back home last week, and he told my sister, he said, "Mummy, can men get pregnant?"
Oh boy.
So obviously my other nephew, my 10-year-old nephew, he told me a few days ago, he said that Mummy told me not to tell you because of how you get. And I'm like, oh right, that's typical. So he told me that that basically his teacher is a lesbian and has a pride flag hanging in her classroom, and is now teaching the 5-year-old pupils that men can get pregnant. So I told my sister, I said, well, I know you didn't want to tell me, but your boys have told me now. So now obviously I'm gonna have to go down to the school to have a word with his teacher, and I'm gonna buy my nephew an England flag, and I'm gonna hand it to him. I'm gonna tell him to take it into the classroom and ask his teacher to hang it up in the classroom as well. And I just want to see her reaction to that.
Wow, that's something else, man. Wow, that's crazy.
I mean, but I'm not wrong though. I feel like sometimes I go over the top with these things, but I'm not overreacting to that, am I?
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Not at all. You're saying you're doing the exact right thing.
Yeah, because I'm the only person in the family who speaks up and stands up for this crap. I mean, I said to my sister, "Do you really want teachers teaching your kids this stuff?" And I said to my nephew Louis the other day, I said, "Louis, who did you come out with? Did you come out of your mummy or your daddy?" And he went, "Mummy." And I went, "That's it. That's it. You come out of your mummy. You know, you don't need these teachers teaching you all this stuff. I mean, you know the truth." And this is the thing, ABL. The children, they know the truth deep down. You know what I mean? They know.
Right. Absolutely.
All right. Well, sorry for staying over too long. I appreciate the call, ABL. Appreciate it, mate. Take care.
Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate you.
All right. See you, mate. See ya. Bye.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. But you got to be able to safeguard against. You got to be able to guard against things like that in this country. So shout out to my man for the call. 773. I'm speaking to.
ABL is retired Chicago police officer friend. Thanks for taking my call.
Number one, ABL, I think you should start your garden in your backyard. I have a garden. I have some hot dog bushes. I have 2 hamburger trees. And if you never tasted a hamburger fresh off the tree, ABL, you don't know what you're missing. Anyway, on a serious note, ABL, first of all, I'm wondering if they will have Biden with some kind of earpiece, and what the chances on that being, where he's helped with the questions, with the answers to some of the questions.
They probably already gave him a list of the questions.
Right. So, okay. So they probably handed him the questions, so he has some kind of preparation that he did. I mean, that's obviously cheating right there.
Yes.
If you know the questions on your science test, your final exam, you can at least look them up ahead of time, and nothing is a surprise. So I'm glad I asked you, because I really didn't think of that, but that's probably what happened. He probably saw the questions ahead of time. Then my other thing is about vice president. I think there's a good strategy to that you want a vice president that is kind of mundane, that nobody would ever vote for. So you're kind of safe from assassination and everything else, or a little safer, because they don't like the alternative. I think, if John F. Kennedy, if his running mate, which would have been wrong, but if his running mate was his brother, Bobby Kennedy, they might have thought twice about assassinating him, knowing that Bobby Kennedy would take over as the president. They killed Bobby Kennedy some years later because he was getting close to the White House. So I like Vivek, but the thing, because he's so much like Trump in a way, but he is, I don't know, polarizing. I'm not sure about Vivek, but I'm wondering what you think is going to come into play, or already has probably, into Trump and his team's mind about what the best strategy for a vice president would be. What's your opinion on that, ABL?
I think they just want somebody that can be there and in place of Trump whenever they need him, and not take too much of the spotlight. Just kind of go along with the program. Yeah. I'm
sorry to interrupt you. I agree with you. Thus, I don't think that he's going to pick Vivek because of that reason. I think Vivek is, too present. He's able to take all the questions. Anytime I've seen him interviewed anywhere, at least he has some kind of response. He's never, he never fumbles the ball when it comes to that. They might not agree with him. I might not agree with him, but he never seems to fumble the question. And I think they want somebody else in there that is there, can handle it, but does not take the spotlight away from Trump. And I'm not sure if that's good or bad. I'm a little concerned. I think Trump should just, mop the floor with him in the debate tomorrow. But, not if they, messed up the playing field, which is, we're not going to give Trump any of the questions, but we're going to let Biden know all the questions. We're going to rehearse Biden over and over and over for the best answers to the questions. And we're going to take out the unknown, which would be questions from Trump himself towards Biden or the audience. So we take away the audience. We take away the microphone from Trump, so that Biden can speak and say his memorized answers to his already memorized questions, and hope for the best right there. It's a staged thing. It is not Saturday Night Live, where it's and it's live, but it's not really live if you prepared. If you're prepared ahead of time, I don't know how fair that is. Anyway, that's my 2 cents, ABL. Thanks for taking my call. I look forward to tomorrow. So I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate you.
Thanks, ABL.
All right, great call. And that will be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. I will see you guys tomorrow, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the debate between President Donald Trump and the other guy. It's going to be a good event on CNN, unfortunately. And I'm going to try to finagle my way around CNN. I think it's going to be a simulcast on different networks. I think NPR is going to have it. So my goal is to stream it from NPR rather than CNN, because I already know it's going to be kind of complicated with CNN trying to gatekeep it, trying to give me a claim and things of this nature. So that'll be what happens. And if worse comes to worse, what I'll do is I'll play audio. We're going to make it happen. I will be here on tomorrow night, Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which means I'll be here maybe a little bit earlier, maybe about 8:30 to 8:45. All right. And I think the debate's going to be an hour or hour and a half, no longer than that. So we'll probably be here for the regular ABL live time. But shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. I will see you guys tomorrow. And shout out to everybody for retweeting, super chatting, just watching the video, whatever you're doing. I could not do the show without you. Shout out to the moderators keeping the trolls nice in check and keeping the chat nice and clean and above board. Shout out to everybody for supporting the show. I really, really appreciate y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. And do I have super chats to read before I wrap it on up? Put the bowl clean on top. I think I got everything. I got all the super chats. I appreciate y'all for donating, for retweeting or whatever. Oh, a couple things. Of course, this is an audio streaming podcast as well. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Also, if you are not subscribed to the brand new channel, Uncle ABL, please do so. I have different kind of topics on there. Y'all give me a little bit of time to get more consistent content, but I got quite a few videos on there already. The food videos coming very soon. So shout out to you guys who have subscribed to the new channel and also watch the audio only podcast. I appreciate it, but that will be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.